Wednesday, September 14th. Welcome from Tony Denaro and the Massalorian. Mass, you want to say hello to the folks first, and then we'll get into some topics here.
Good evening, beautiful people. You know it. What's going on, guys? How's everyone tonight? Massalorian is here. We are, of course, late because of me, but we are here and ready to break down everything for you guys tonight. I'm sorry I've been absent from everything, but starting Monday, you're gonna be seeing a lot more of me. You're gonna be sick of me. So,
how's the studio coming along?
It's coming along beautiful. I can finally smile about what I'm looking at. Finally, there's a smile on my face. It only took a month, but it was just a way bigger project than I had ever imagined. I just didn't realize, I've done construction before. This isn't my first rodeo with construction, but I had to do everything and pay for everything. So but I'm finally looking at it right now and I can actually smile. It's the first time. Today is the first day that it actually looks finished. So I'm very excited. Very excited.
Very good. Well, tonight is hopefully going to be a little more lighthearted than the daytime streams. I have had a hell of a last 24 hours, let me tell you, putting together all the due diligence for the 35 trillion video that I dropped earlier today. So I'm cracking a beer. I hope you guys are having a drink with me. We got Andy Gator from Abita Brewing tonight. I might even have two.
Really?
Let's try and keep it lighthearted. I know we'll probably get into some serious topics, and that's fine. If you guys have questions, we're here to answer them. That's what tonight is about, just conversation and hanging out. And we're definitely here to answer your questions if you have them. Thank you, Edward. I appreciate that. There, as always, super chats are appreciated. You guys help keep the light bills paid. And we do try and answer all of your questions, those super chats or not. Again, there's going to be a lot of chats flying through tonight. If we don't get to it, we're not ignoring you. Feel free to wait a reasonable amount of time and re-ask the question. Sometimes it is hard to keep up with all the chats, especially if we're looking at the camera instead of reading chat like this. That's pretty boring, right? You don't want to see me looking like this all night. We're trying to engage with you and with each other and have a conversation. So we do our best. Don't feel bad about repeating it. Just don't spam the chat. That's all we ask. Be nice to one another. There'll be mods in here. And be nice to your host. We're here donating several hours to you guys, and we're here to have fun. So let's all be nice to each other. Mass, go ahead.
So can I kick something off real quick? I just want
absolutely
to touch on.
Yep.
So just getting back to your video earlier, and not the 35 trillion so much the number, but everything else around it. So in your video, you mentioned, and again, I'm sorry for my lack of material in the last 2 weeks, but it will be cranking out very soon. With that being said, in your video, you talked about the kind of drought we're in right now. And I think that is such a the most truest statement you could make about the AMC community as far as YouTube goes right now. There's a drought for information. There's no catalysts that are upcoming. We have Q3 earnings coming up that we know aren't going to be stellar, right? And we're all preparing ourselves for that. And a lot of YouTubers out there, and again, we're not pointing fingers or saying anyone's name, they make a living off YouTube. That's their full-time job. It's the only way they can make money, and they do very well at it. And if, like you said in the video, if you're just going there for entertainment and for cracks for laughs, or just for, to say hey to you're a fan of that YouTuber, by all means. It's when it comes over to the other side, and people who aren't relying on YouTube for a living, who own AMC, who own Ape, have positions, heavy positions, and it's not doing anything for them. And I feel like that includes a lot of creators, but everyone that's on the other side of the camera is in that situation. So I don't want anyone to think that, when we talk about these things, that we are trying to point anyone out or say people are doing things maliciously. This is a business as well. YouTube is a business. They put ad revenue on so that people would make clickbaity titles and make them money, right? They're making money for Google. So I just want to make that clear that there's no one we're calling out specifically, and we all understand there's a lot of information out there. So we do the best to fill in with what we have and FUD bust when we can. So I hope no one's mad. I hope no one's mad.
I would prefer never to FUD bust or fact check. I mean, it is emotionally, physically, and mentally draining to put together enough information. I mean, it takes literally 1 minute for someone to read a clickbait headline on a website and put a tweet out. It takes 5 minutes for them to put a video out with no due diligence. They're just reading a headline. But for me to put together a video that is going to stand up to scrutiny, it could take me an entire day.
Yes.
And so I just literally don't have the time or the desire to spend 24/7 FUD busting or clickbaiting. But sometimes things, we get bombarded with questions or things are kind of over the top. And I have to take a pause and divert some of my attention to do that. I just wish the content creators would be more responsible in thinking about what they put out. And there are some people, not anyone you're thinking of, I can promise you that. Whoever you're thinking of, the top 5, I'm not talking about them. There are people on Twitter who are purposely doing this stuff. They have watched my videos. Some of them are leading Twitter space calls. They never ask me to come on. They don't want explanations. They put stuff out even after they've talked to me about this stuff. It's knowingly doing stuff for clout and for clickbait. I'm not talking about YouTube creators. I'm talking about other personalities in this cult that we're in. this cult of personalities, right?
Yeah.
And it is just unfortunate and it's frustrating. All I care about is I know why I hold my investments. I don't need clickbait to carry me through. And if you do, hey, there's lots of entertainment and hype channels out there and they can do their thing. But there are a lot of people that come here for real information, real facts. And some of them actually believe these entertainers as fact-based. And they come ask me the questions and it's my job to answer it. I can't just ignore the questions. Yeah. And I know if I talk about it, I'm going to expect it to bring the receipt. So sometimes like today, here we are,
Yep. So where do you personally feel that the misinterpretation of the 35 trillion is coming in? Where do you feel like there's something getting lost in translation? At what point?
Well,
I have my theories, but I want to hear yours.
First of all, it was a headline. That's good enough for most people. Oh, a headline said it on a website. It must be true.
Yep.
But the 35 trillion is actually the sum of all U.S. pension funds in the U.S. in 2020. That's a data point that you can go out and find. And I'm sure the anonymous person who wrote that article on Trust Nodes, that's what he was referencing. But there is literally like what leap do you make to think that the Options Clearing Corp would have unfettered access to every pension fund in the United States to back up their options? Like how, first of all, just have a little bit of critical thinking. How would that possibly make sense? But if you peel back the layers and dig in, they do have some credit facilities, the OCC does with these pension plans. And that's what I went over in the video. Where people kind of went sideways on reading the regulation was that paragraph saying that the OCC wants to remove the requirement to go ask for permission, basically, to increase the credit limits down the road. And if you go look at the financial statements, they're on the OCC website in their document section, their annual financials. Every year, their obligations go up. The amount of derivatives and stuff go up, right? So they need to increase the amount of credit facility they have available to them. And they do that with the clearing fund and margin requirements. But they do sometimes need a little bit of extra cash. That clearing fund is a couple $100 billion.
Right.
So this little bit of extra cash that they get from a pension fund is a sliver of what they have. It's just extra cash as needed, right? And 1 billion has been fine since 2015 till now. So for anyone to make the jump that they're going to go from 1 billion to 35 trillion, well, I get it. Some of you want to believe in conspiracy theories. Again, this is not the channel for you. But they did some stress testing a year or so ago and determined that they have some additional needs for liquidity. So they're bumping it up a couple $1 billion, and they might need to bump it up in the future because every year the total obligations of the OCC go up in a growing economy, right? That's normal.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know what else to tell you. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So like we were talking earlier when I said, if I was just the most basic bare bones retail investor, my only stock I've ever bought was AMC. I literally ate crayons. I would think 1 to 3 billion would make sense to me as far as increasing that amount. How you go from 1 billion to 35 trillion, just off of general principles, that would seem like you'd have to take a leap of faith to buy into that. So I understand why there were some miscommunication there, but also if you really think about it, just sit down and think about it. Why would they have all of a sudden whatever? I can't even tell you what the percentage is, but I mean, you're talking about huge numbers, and it's not like last year the Fed printed that much more money. Like I could see some people saying, "Well, look at the last year we printed whatever $5 trillion." So of course, but again, it's all in the fine print, right? So it's the way you read it, and that could go up, and it probably will in the future.
I know. I get it. I mean, I'm in the investment with you guys. I've been watching everything that's going on every single day. I get the feeling and the desire that each and every one of you have. I have a very large investment in this company, but there is this desire to say, well, obviously 35 trillion is what's going to be needed to pay off AMC in a squeeze. And the timing is very suspect. Even though this regulation has been, I mean, what no one told you is this regulations was originally passed in 2015, and then the proposed update was, I think, in January of this year. But people don't want to be bothered with details, right?
Right.
They want to connect dots to draw a picture that just doesn't exist. And this is a problem I've seen over and over and over for the last year. In catalyst after catalyst, and it is unfortunate, and I'm just not going to continue to ignore that stuff on this channel. If it's over the line, I'll have to talk about it if I'm getting bombarded with questions. Like I said, that for every one thing I talk about, there's literally 9,999 that I have to ignore because I would literally never sleep, and I'd probably need a staff of 10 to cover it all.
Seriously. Yeah.
So
yeah, you would. You really would. I just saw that Dan's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Dan. Sorry, that in chat.
Happy birthday.
So going back to that one more time, T. So in the future, when this comes back around again, and as far as right down the road, so people are thinking this is going to cause this. This was because there's some crisis coming, right? So there was an immediate need to increase liquidity.
There might be a crisis coming, right?
Right. If the market
saying. Crashes. I mean, like I said, I'm right there with you. There could be a crisis coming.
Right.
I'm not.
I just want to give the other side of the coin. That's
facts.
all. Right. I know. I'm just giving the other side of the coin. You know me.
Yeah. No, that's what we're here for. Go ahead.
All right. No, just them increasing that. We can tell you some things. I mean, and it is a stress test, and obviously it's going to go up year after year. With the monetary rises that we see in the economy itself. So obviously you need more liquidity. There's more money being pumped in. Remember, retail just jumped in last year, pumped a ton of money into the stock market. A lot of new traders, a lot of money came in. So there's a lot more risk, and I'm sure that they are taking risky positions on the other side. where they feel like they need to do this. So obviously, there's something going on that they're not too keen on. So, and they're preparing, whether it's warranted or not, they're doing it. So,
I don't know if I don't know if I talked to you about this earlier today, Massalorian, or not, but I heard some people talking like, oh, this is obviously a throwback to 2008 where millions of people lost their pension funds and their 401ks because of bad investments by pension funds, blah, blah, blah. And that was a fact, right? A lot of people lost money in their retirement plans. I lived through that along with all the other old folks. I've lived through those going all the way back to what was that? That was 2008. 1808 was the first one I lived through, believe it or not. But that being said, pension funds lost money in 2008 because they made risky investments.
Yes.
Not because of the OCC. Let's not take this OCC story and try and tie it artificially to what happened in 2008. That is a straw man argument. That is a bullshit argument. There will be pension funds and retirement plans that lose money in the next upcoming crash, but not because of the OCC, because of the investments they made in the market, in the derivatives, in hedge funds, in bonds. Whatever crashes, people are going to lose money. That is a fact, but do not tie that to the OCC. That is a pension fund manager decision on what he invests in.
Right. Yep. Two different scenarios we're talking about. They're not two in the same.
Who's down with OCC?
BBD just said that.
All right. I see a couple tickers going past. I saw HKD. HKD ran like the Dickens today out of nowhere. I don't know if you saw that, Mass. By the time I saw it, I saw
it was too late.
I was literally working all morning on getting this video filmed and out. So by the time I saw it, it was too late. I don't know if there was any news. Congrats if you guys made money on that, or if you were bag holding and you were able to get out.
There you go.
I love to see that. I wish I would have had a chance to play it. Someone is asking about Tesla. I don't know what the news is on Tesla. I have been nose to the grindstone on this other stuff for you guys. Master, do you want to fill me in, or someone in the chat let me know what's going on?
So Tesla, I haven't heard anything. So honestly, Tony, after I got phone with you today, well, I tried calling you back a couple times, but in between there, literally, I today was literally sunk in work trying to just finish up to get this done today. So I saw Casey on this morning, and for a little bit, just dropped in to see if there were any runners, and then I checked in with you at lunchtime. That's about all I did with the market today. Honestly, I was nonstop working until about 8:30. So I don't know what happened with Tesla today. What happened?
And then someone is asking, let us know in the chat. Also, someone was asking about Fubo. I am not in Fubo, so that's not a stock that I'm tracking. Obviously, I know what it is. I have looked at it previously, and I'm not currently invested in it. So it's not something that, there's only so many tickers that I can become a good due diligence person on. The chart on Fubo looks pretty good. Going back to the 6th of...
Fubo's setting up first. Sorry, go ahead.
From the 6th of November till now, it's almost gone up 100%. But that is coming off of, looks like a high of $8 back in August. So we're at $5.12 now. Recent high $8, recent low $3.25.
52-week high was 35.10.
Yeah.
So it's got legs. It could get legs.
It could, because of the overall slant of that chart from top down, 62.29 down to $3. This is not the typical type of stock that I'm looking to add to my portfolio, which is why I'm not following Fubo. If it becomes a momentum trade or a day trade, I will absolutely jump in it for a day. but these are not the type of stocks that I'm looking to add to my portfolio.
I just know Fubo is burning a ton of cash right now. They're burning a ton of cash, so just keep that in mind.
Tally Foreman, what's going on? Kathy, Dan Spencer, Doc Zeno, what's up? Who else is in the chat here? Jack Wolf, Fear of God, Proud and By, Tim. Hopefully, trying to catch all the members of the channel. Pam, thank you for joining in as a mod. Angelina, what is going on? I went and saw a movie yesterday since the markets were kind of I went and saw Barbarian, which is that horror movie. Yeah. I had seen the preview of it last week before Scarlett and I went to go see Bullet Train, and I wasn't really convinced with the trailer, but I heard a couple good reviews from folks in the Discord that they were like, hey, you got to go see this. So I went to go see it yesterday, and I will say, you know, it's a good twist on the horror genre. It's got a couple of nice twists and turns and some funny spots, good plot twists. It's not the typical like Jason Halloween type horror. It's not like Alien, you know, edge of your seat type horror. It's kind of could be considered a little bit of campy, a little bit of artsy.
Okay.
But it was I would recommend it. And I would say if you have a Dolby theater in your city, go watch it in Dolby, because the sound and the ominous tones, you know, coming through on the soundtrack really help it out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's big for horror, right? The music and the soundtrack and the jump scares, that's big for horror films. Yeah, definitely. And that when you have that THX, man, that digital sound is crazy. I just remember it used to happen right before every IMAX movie. Remember that back in the day when IMAX would come on, they would have that thing where the sound would come around you, and they would, you know, show the yes. Yeah. I love that. That's great. Yeah.
Tim says, Tony, I asked you in the Discord regarding the movie Barbarian, would you have drank the milk? Well, I don't want to spoil the movie, Tim, but in that scene, I think I threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Oh,
no, I would not have drank the milk.
What's wrong with the milk? What's wrong with it?
I don't want to ruin it. Go see the movie.
Okay.
I think you'll enjoy it. I mean, there's not a ton of great stuff out there, blockbuster titles, right? So I'm looking for things to go see. Bullet Train was good. Barbarian is a sleeper film. You should go see it if you're looking for something to do this weekend.
By the way, I found it interesting that Thor: Love and Thunder is already on Disney Plus. So that was fast. Very fast.
I wanted to go see Fall, the movie about the girls that climb that radio tower. And I mean, it was in and out of the theater in a month.
Wow. It was that fast, huh?
Yeah. By the time I heard, you know, reviews on it that was worthwhile to go see, it was already gone out of my city. So,
jeez, there's some quick turnarounds coming. Quick turnarounds. Avatar 2, Avatar 2, I am so looking forward to. I really am looking forward to that. Really am. Are you, Tony? Are you an Avatar fan?
Yeah. I've seen Avatar, the first one, so many times I've lost count. I'm definitely going to go see it back on the big screen. I might even have it on DVD. I mean, I'm a film buff. I don't know if you and I have talked about that before.
Yeah, of course. When we first talked,
this was a game changer in terms of what we've ever seen before, the quality and the integration of the CGI and the human characters. I just love everything about it. And so I will go see the first one again, and definitely probably see the second one a couple times in the big screen.
Have they talked about doing a re-release? Because I've only seen Avatar once. One time I've seen it. I saw it in the theaters once, and I liked it a lot. Not to the point where I ever went to watched it again. I don't know why. I just never watched it again, but I'm excited to see what the next part of the story is. Yeah. Have they said whether they would do like reopen the first one?
Yeah.
So that would be nice for AMC.
Adam Aaron already announced they're going to show screenings of the first one. I think, guys, help me out. I think it's in October. Starting in October, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to milk that.
Yeah, big time, right? Big time. I know. I believe the release date for Avatar 2 is December 17th or 18th. I think it's 2 weeks before Christmas, right? Or it's 2 weeks before New Year's.
I don't remember off the top of my head what the date is, but yeah, sometime in December.
16th. December 16th. So yeah, we could see. Yeah, I think Q4 is gonna be very good for AMC. Let me see here what they said. Avatar quietly pulled from Disney Plus ahead of theatrical re-release. So last month they pulled Avatar from Disney Plus.
Really?
Yes. Yep. Disney subscribers can't watch Cameron's underwater adventure as many times they wanted. Movie no longer available. Removing the classic is motivated by its re-release as not having the for streaming people to go to theaters. So thank you very much, Disney Plus, for once in your lives. You've come through for AMC. Other than that, you suck. Okay.
Folks are asking about HKD, the spike today. What caused it? I don't know what caused it. I see a couple of press releases, one on Dow Jones. It triples on no news is the headline. On Bloomberg, it says also AMTD digital soared today. Like I said, guys, I was nose to the grindstone on getting that other video out today. And I only slept about 3 hours last night. So I had to go do a quick recharge. That means a nap for about an hour and a half.
That means a nap.
After the market closed today. So I don't know what happened with HKD. I mean, I know what happened, but the why, I don't know. I'm not. I might be interested in playing it tomorrow, even at $189, but I am. I'm a little bit leery about jumping in these things. I think I played that one. I have to go back and look at my trading history, but you got to be careful jumping in these things when they start running on volume out of nowhere.
Right,
so,
right.
Good luck to you if you are. If I'm live tomorrow, which I think I will be. Help me out, guys. I think is it KNW that is IPOing tomorrow. We may have time to look into HKD a little bit more tomorrow. I think one of the IPOs is going live tomorrow.
Oh.
15th. Listing date KNW 9/16. It says. I guess Friday. I guess none of them are tomorrow. Yeah. Lycan is 9/16. KNW 9/16. June's is 9/21. So those are the three that I'm in. So
now, where do you check those out? Do you go to markets to go check out all the IPOs that are coming out?
On these particular ones, Webull on their IPO tab is keeping the dates updated, and these dates change sometimes daily, right? It was supposed to be some of them a few days ago or a week ago, and they keep on pushing it out. So,
right, I remember, yeah.
I'm looking at the tab here. I'll put it up on the screen. This tab here showing available IPOs, and the listing date on Webull is where I'm getting that info.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. I didn't realize Webull had that on the. Has that always been there?
Yeah. And these are low float IPOs, so I play some of those on Webull because I can pre-order them. Someone was saying that Moomoo also offers low float pre-IPOs. I don't have a Moomoo account, and I won't be promoting one, just like I don't promote Webull. There's no affiliate links here, but I might put some money in Moomoo to open an account just to see what their IPO center looks like. Because every single one of these that I've gotten into, rewind, not financial advice. IPOs are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. There's no guarantee on any IPOs, right? But every single one that I've done on pre-IPO, I've made minimum 50%, sometimes hundreds of percent in an hour or two. So yeah,
Phenomenal.
I'm gonna keep on doing it. And even if I lose on one, I'm so far ahead of the game.
Right.
Until I get burned a couple times. But go in pre-IPO. Pre-IPO. You get in at $4 and it opens at $6, you're already up 50%. And sometimes they go to 100 or 1,000. I mean, it's just stupid. No one can predict it.
Nope.
The Hong Kong game that was pumping these things, they're like crickets right now. But even without them involved, all of these have been making money for people that have been in pre-IPO. And I'm sure one day we're going to get burned. But you got to look at the batting average, right? Massalorian froze up on us. Pam says, I sold HKD too early at 190. But you made money, Pam. That is all that counts. All right, Massalorian dropped off. He's going to come back in a second. Here he is. Still having IT issues, I see, huh?
No, it's weird. I didn't have an issue last time we went live. I don't remember. When I went by myself, it's funny. I took the Ethernet cord out and just doing just through the airwaves right now. I've been getting a pretty good signal. I was gonna say I was watching Teddy Zane the other day, and I forget what ticker it was, but he was saying, "How'd you guys all get in at $4? What'd you get in at for? Oh, you bought." I'm like, really?
Skill stacking
Program,
says
bro. It's an IPO.
Skill stacking says in the chat, Mumu lists IPOs, but he doesn't see a pre-order for them. Does anybody have Mumu? And can you confirm if there is a pre-order IPO center like there is on Webull? Let me know if there is in the chat. I do not want to open a Mumu if they don't have a pre-order. That is the only reason, I do some options trading on my Webull account, and I do the pre-IPO stuff. That's about all I use it for.
Yep, everything else through Fidelity. I just want to say real quick, Bigums is in the chat, and I haven't had the chance to speak to him directly. So, Bigums, just want to say sorry for your loss of your grandfather. If you're still there, man, I haven't got a chance to do that. So,
same for me. Condolences, Bigums. And I sent you a DM. If you want to join in, I get it. You're busy and you got a lot going on. But if you want to join into tonight's chat and talk about phase 6 briefly, or answer some questions, or just ask some questions even about the 35 trillion OCC, you're welcome to join in with us, buddy.
Yeah, we sent out some invites tonight, right?
Yes, I have several sent out. Some people said they wanted to join, but they depending on schedule and stuff. So that's why I left the surprise guest as an unknown, because even to me it's unknown.
Even to you.
I mean, I know who I invited, but it's kind of like a box of chocolates. You never know who's going to show up.
This is true. This is true. Did you know that CFVI is supposed to merge, I believe, tomorrow with
Rumble?
With Rumble? Yeah.
As you know, I use Rumble to I simulcast my live streams to Rumble. So I'm excited to see that. I will be watching that. If I'm live in the morning, I'll be watching that. And if I'm not live, I'll be watching it and talking in the Discord. If I'm not on camera, I'm still here. But, to be on camera, I really feel like I need to have a value add. Just to sit here and, be boring for 8 hours is not worth anybody's time. I can be boring off camera.
Yeah. I can bore other people, right?
I can make a lot more money for myself when I'm not having to try and look at the camera, if I can be looking for deals over here. So sometimes I try and be on when I can, and some days I'm just not, but I'm always on the Discord. So,
by the way, you still looking for a new monitor setup for that?
Yes,
possibly.
After we get back from vacation, so I'll be offline Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Scarlett's birthday. We're going to the beach. Nothing fancy, just Texas beach. But she's very happy. She's been modeling bikinis and beachwear for me all week. She's already got her bags packed. I already got her
Oh,
bags
yeah.
packed.
There you go. There you go.
I love to see the excitement. I'm like the type of person that packs my bag 30 minutes before we're walking out
Me
the door.
too. Me too. Me too.
But so I won't be around this weekend, but when I get back next week, I'm going to go buy the 2 more monitors, and that will help me keep my eye on plays for myself and for the live stream. So that's going to be a huge upgrade. I got to buy 2 more monitors and then the monitor stands to get them up
Yes.
above, to get everything off
arms.
the desk, basically.
Yeah. You need the arms. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So there
Monitor
goes
arms.
$1,000,
Yeah. I know. I've been trying to find another monitor on Facebook Marketplace, like locally, just so I can mirror the broken computer. And even like people on Facebook Marketplace want $200 for a 27-inch curved monitor. I'm like, you can get a brand new at Walmart for like $160. I charge you
Yeah.
$200 on Facebook Marketplace. Inflation is real, people. It's not a joke. It's definitely not zero, as the press said the other day. There's no inflation. Oh boy. What do you think about the interest rate next week, Tony? What's your thoughts on JPAL next week?
I heard on CNBC today that it's 80% according to the experts. How right have they been on much of
They
anything?
just nail
lately?
it every time. Yeah.
They nailed that CPI data, didn't they?
Yeah, right.
Womp womp womp. 80% are predicting 75 basis points, and 20% have now upped the number to 100. I'm still kind of in the camp of 75.
Okay.
Because
even with after that speech,
the CPI was higher than expected, but only marginally so, and gas prices are coming down, even if it's artificially done so through release of the strategic petroleum reserves.
Speaking of which, ends in about 3 days, right?
Yeah,
That started on June 16th or 17th. Yeah.
but I think the pullback that we had this week. Let's see what happens between now and the 21st. I mean, there's still a few more days.
Yeah.
I think the 80-20 is probably a good odds right about now.
Okay.
And let's also talk about now the railroad strike, because that's going to be a big factor going into the next week, tomorrow, and the end of this year if it drags on. Have you been able to look into that at all?
Monday night will be that will be the first video dropped on the new live stream. And the new thing is going to be about. I just said thing. I haven't really figured out what it is yet, but it's going to be dealing with the railroad. We'll be talking about that and what happened in England when it happened, and see how it affected them. Yeah, I'm going to be diving into some of that stuff. So, you know me, I'm going to be digging into those macroeconomics, those geopolitics, all those types of things that are going on around the world. So I'll do some comparisons, and we'll look and see. Is it going to have a massive effect on us? How did it how did it affect when the truckers went on strike up in Canada? Could have a similar situation here. So
I finally had time to skim through an article from this afternoon. I mean, I knew the railroad thing was coming, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it till I saw if they were able to work out a deal. Railroad transportation is about 1/3 of our overall freight, second to trucking. And I think their deadline is tomorrow. One of the unions already voted down an agreement that had been hammered out between the unions and the railroads.
Yep.
The Biden administration's trying to get involved, saying, hey, Friday's the deadline, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And finally, the Biden administration said, oh, we might want to get involved in this.
48 hours before. Come on.
But who knows what's going to happen? I mean, the administration is in a difficult place, being pro-union, but also not wanting to tank the economy in a time where we don't need more supply chain issues. The railroad workers, unfortunately, are in a very, position of strength.
Precarious position.
No, they're in a position of strength.
I meant the administration's in a precarious situation.
The administration and the railroads are in a precarious position. So I sure hope that something gets hammered out tomorrow, but hey, anything could happen. Anything could happen.
That could have a crippling effect on the economy. Crippling effect. 3 days without food in any major city before there's a revolt. So
And some of the railroads are already, someone said, I didn't see that in the article that I read, that Amtrak's already canceling trains for tomorrow. I saw that some of the rail yards are rejecting new trucks coming into the rail yard to drop off stuff, especially
Wow.
hazardous supplies. So, I mean, this is serious. We're at a precipice tomorrow, and this could also be a market impact. This will affect a lot of people, manufacturing, retail, probably more manufacturing, right? Wouldn't you think that more? I honestly don't know what goods are moved by rail. I see in my going through my city, I see car parts, right? Chassis, axles. I see windmill parts. I see gravel and rocks and things like that. Oil,
Wood, lumber. Yep.
but I don't know what else. I mean, that's a lot of
Passengers.
some passengers, but not through Texas, right? We got a lot of shit coming from Mexico up through Austin, going up to the rest of the U.S. It's all like the commodities needed to do things. So this is going to affect a lot of industries if these railroads get shut down. But yeah, passengers up in the Northeast, especially, right?
Yeah. And yeah, the Excella and all those. And in Northern California, they're saying they're going to have a lot of problems. They're expecting modified schedules and a possible suspension of service altogether by Friday. So that's the capital of the state, Sacramento. You're talking about a lot of people coming in and out of there and going into the Bay Area, Sacramento Bay Area. So you're talking, that's millions of people who are going to be affected now in their work, and that trickles down. You know what I mean? It's not just getting the supply chain issues; it's also getting people's asses into the factories and into their jobs. They need to get to work. So that could have a major crushing effect on us. And on top of everything we got right now, yeah, just beware. That's why. Good.
We have a special guest in the waiting room. If he can give me a thumbs up if he's ready to go. All right. And I'm going to read BTW's comment before I bring him on. It says, nearly everything off a ship from China gets moved on a rail to the east. Container ship trains pass by me 4 times a day. Yeah, that is not something. I mean, I know how the ports work, but where all of that goes, I'm not going to pretend to be a logistics expert. Let's welcome to the stream, Casey Shaw. What's up, Casey?
How's it going, guys? Good to see you.
What's up, brother? How are you, Casey?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Thanks for joining in. Glad you were able to make it tonight. We might have a couple more guests. It might get spicy in here tonight.
Oh, I like spicy.
It might.
Yeah. What's going on? What's on your mind?
I saw Bigham say he might jump on, by the way. So there might be 4 of us.
Beautiful.
Get ready.
Beautiful.
I've never had an opportunity to speak to Bigham's in person, so that'd be awesome.
Do you have anything specific you want to share with us, or are you just here to drink a beer, a little drinky drink, and hang out?
Ooh. You know what? Let me see. Let me take my camera off here and go grab a beer real quick, and I'll join you. Give me a second.
All right, Massalorian, entertain the folks for a second because I'm ready for a refill.
Sure. When you guys come back, I'll go. I'm drinking lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yeah, no. Take your panties off, Massalorian.
Gotta unplug my headset here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna rip my computer apart.
No, don't do that. Trust me.
I'll be right back.
Not good for you. Don't rip your computer apart. Don't forget to invite Lou, says JH. I'm sorry. Did I see? Yeah, Pam, I will. Okay. Yes, I will. I will go do that. Yes, ma'am. Gotcha. D, how you doing tonight? Angelina, I just want to say hey to some people. Adrian, haven't talked to you in a while. Miss Gloria, Audrey. Oh, he's back. What kind of beer are you drinking, Tony?
Tonight I am drinking. It's called Andy Gator.
Andy Gator, is that local in Texas?
It's a beta. Where is a
Beta.
beta from? Is that Louisiana?
I never heard of that. You know what I should do though, Tony? I think I should switch my camera a little bit to the right because when we go 3-shot, it cuts off like half of me. So I'm just gonna go around and swing my camera up just a bit. I'll shut it off while I do it.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Abita is in Abita Springs, Louisiana. Nitro Milk Stout, Doc Zeno. I have some of that too. We bought that to try actually based on your recommendation. But I don't know if I want to mix beers tonight. That might not go over so well.
All right, so no beer cold yet, so I had to stick one in the freezer. So my alarm's going to go off in 10 minutes. So I'll have some beer ready in 10 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, so kind of crazy. Like, I know one of the biggest pet peeves that I've had lately is people coming onto the stream and trying to get me to like comment on things other YouTubers have said, especially, you know, like some of the people some of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and I hate that. I really just hate it because it's like, you know, I don't even know what you said, you know, like I don't watch every single stream every single day, and so I have no idea exactly what you said, and I'm sure it's taken out of context sometimes. And so today, Tony, I think we had a little bit of an experience of that going on today, and it was funny because you came in and you saw Airman throwing something up there, you know, talking about my mom, and I was like, no, Tony, it's okay, he's joking. It was very funny.
Yeah, I was sitting here working and talking with the folks in the Discord, and someone sent me a clip from your comments, like they often do. You know, if my name gets brought up, and everyone thinks I'm everywhere monitoring people's streams. No, I'm not. But we got a lot of people in the Discord, and they're watching other streams. And if something's said that they know I didn't say, they say, "Hey, did you really say this?" And so someone sent me a screenshot of your chat, not what you said. It wasn't a video clip. I was like, well, no, I didn't say. I wasn't talking bad about KC Shaw's mom. Of course not. So I jumped over just to clear my name, to protest my innocence, so you wouldn't hate me and never talk to me again.
I told Airman, I said, you know, I live in the same area as Tony does, so if my mom comes to town, she's gonna go beat him up herself. I don't have to do anything. But she regularly listens in onto the stream, and I think he probably knew that, and you know, was probably just trying to pull some strings, you know, just to kind of needle me a little bit. And but yeah, no, it was all good, and I dodged the bullet. You know, I was like, no, I'm not going to comment on what Tony said, because you know, I have no idea. I didn't hear what he said, and I want to hear it firsthand. You know, so yeah, I try not to bite into some of that stuff, because it's just, I feel like it's just bait to try and cause drama between us, and I just don't want that. Yeah.
I see that on other channels all the time. People hopping between channels trying to start drama, and it happens to me a lot. Trust me. You and I talk often, so I trust you, and I wasn't worried about what you said. I worry about what liars in the comments said. Now, the funny thing was, as we talked about in your chat this morning, if I had known that was Airman, because he's in my Discord, he uses a different name in your chat.
Yeah.
And so when the screenshot was sent to me, I didn't know that was Airman. The name was Forrest or something like that. I have no idea who Forrest is, because that's not what I know him by. So if I had known it was Airman, I would have known it was a joke immediately, because you know, he's a valued member of our community over here too.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. But yeah, the things we got to juggle, right? To be fair to each other as content creators and not get drawn into the drama.
Yeah. But it was seeing you in. Yes. Mass hopped in early, first thing in the morning. Enjoyed seeing him there. That was kind of cool. How do I get this chair to stop disappearing in my background? Like, do I just need to get
I was gonna say, you look like me sometimes when I pixelate like the Predator.
Crazy. I tried taking the blanket off, but the seat does the same thing too. So I don't know what to do.
You need to paint. You need to paint your chair green or get a green
Yeah, there you
blanket.
go. Yep, a green
Get a
blanket.
green blanket. Amazon.
Green blanket. I might have one of those somewhere.
Yeah, I'm actually outside right now. That whole limestone wall, it's just a green screen. I'm under a lamppost.
Down by the river.
Yeah.
So how you guys doing? How's this week? First I want to talk about. I heard you guys. I actually started watching you guys. I was getting ready to put in a comment like, are they starting at 8:30 or 9:30? Because I was, you guys hadn't started yet, and so I was kind of confused about the time. So I was actually watching you guys since you first started, and you guys mentioned about HKD, and I actually I get a lot of times I'll get texts or I'll people will message me on the side, and I'll look some things up when I'm on my breaks and whatnot. But one of the things that I thought was kind of interesting was let me pull it up here real quickly, but I think HKD, if I'm not mistaken, had really low volume on the front side of the
It's had
movement.
low volume for a long time, Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
you're right.
yeah. I remember last time it had low volume as well. So their average 3-month moves are per day is, let's see, and I call them moves, and that's not what it is, but the average shares turnover per day is like 106,000 per day, right? Today they
Yep.
did 1.61, but I think at the time when it started running up and it had been mentioned to me that something was occurring, I think they had had like 80,000 shares that had moved at that point. And so I was sitting there looking at it, and I was going like, wow, that's a lot of price movement for only 80,000 shares having been traded so far. And I was just sitting there going like, that's not it's very
Typical.
suspect. Yeah, it's very
That's not
suspect. I
typical.
look at. So it just was unsettling.
It was
But,
about a 2-hour window where it traded at like 50 to 60 bucks. And then all of a sudden it ran up from 68 to 283. I mean, it had a jump early. It traded flat. It actually went down, which probably would have scared a lot of people out. And then boom, you got another layer of volume coming in. These are so hard to predict, especially on something that's been on a downtrend for an extended period. So, it's, I don't know. If I was in something like that, I'd be in it for a few minutes.
Yeah,
These
same
are
here. I'd be
scary
too
as hell.
nervous.
The
Yeah.
halts, the suspensions, the unlimited risk of what's going to happen next on a company that really nobody knows anything about. It's not like the largest theater company in the world, right?
Yeah.
This is
Right.
a nothing company. So, hey, I say to those that had the balls to play it, well done, well earned.
Absolutely.
And good luck if you're still in it.
Hey, by the way, Yuka Furna said that Casey looks much younger at nighttime. That just means we look older. I'm assuming.
It's because he's sitting next to me. all these wrinkles.
Self-deprecating. Stop.
Well, I started to get on a little bit ago, and I sat down, and one of the things, since I have my face usually like inside the window and I'm real small on my normal live stream, I turned on to get onto your stream here, and it puts you in like this waiting room, and you get to see what you look like before you go on. And I was like, oh dear, this is not good. So I had to run. Yeah, I had to run back upstairs, comb the beard, look pretty, because I didn't want to come on here looking like a trash bum. So
yeah, there's some mornings where I accidentally start the live stream instead of the little box down in the corner. I'm not paying attention, and my face is the whole screen, and I'm like chatting, looking at the charts, and then everybody's like, I look back over after 5 minutes, we can't see the charts, and I'm like, oh. They've been looking at my face in HD for 5 minutes at 7:30 in the morning.
Oh my God. Really? You've done that a couple times?
Yes.
Yeah.
The horror.
That's tough to catch. That's tough to catch.
Hey, at least you turn your sound on. I've talked to people for like 10 minutes straight, and I even had the sound on before.
We've all done it. I've done it several times. We need like a military checklist,
No kidding.
I know.
Someone real quick, very quick question for Jersey Recycler. Any thoughts on upcoming Lycan IPO? IPOs, guys, my phrase is IPOs are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. We have been very lucky if we're pre-buying them, pre-IPO. So you're getting them for $4 or $5 maybe. We've been very lucky that all of them have run up immediately. And if your timing is good and you're not too greedy, you can get out with pretty good gains for an hour's work, sometimes 5 minutes work. I stopped doing due diligence on these companies because there's nothing good about any of them, right? We're just playing the momentum of a low flow IPO. So I don't have any thoughts, but I did put in a pre-order for Lycan, LICN.
Oh, you did on Lycan?
Yep. One day we're going to miss on one. One day we're going to buy it pre-IPO at 4 and it's going to open at 3, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to lose 25%, but I've made 50 to hundreds of percent on multiple of these. It's going to be okay if we miss on one. And what I always tell folks, just to do the non-financial, recommendations, if I miss buying it pre-IPO, I do not buy it in the first 15 minutes of trading. Why? Because many of these open up very, very high, halt, and then immediately drop. So if you got a limit order placed at market open, you could get filled at 6, 10, 15, $40, have it halt, and then watch it drop to $15. So I do not jump on these if I'm not in them pre-IPO. Now, if the momentum continues, or if it jumps up and dips, I might buy it at the end of the day or at the bottom of the day. But be careful. Just be careful about buying them in the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Corbin Dallas just said, all you have to say, Tony, is COIN. And that's the same for Mass, Corbin. We both got dumped on the head on that. So,
yeah. Coinbase.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's a Chinese tax service for.
I stopped. KC, to be perfectly honest, I stopped looking them up.
Okay.
I look at a couple things. Sometimes I look at the prospectus. I want to know what is the float. How much do the executives own? Are there warrants? Is it a uplisting or a secondary offering? And where is the company from? But what they do, it hasn't mattered on a single one of these plays. Really. So, I mean, if I have time, I will look into that stuff. But time is at a premium these days, as you know.
Seriously,
it's hard to look into other plays when you're getting 8 hours of questions a day about one ticker symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. This is true.
What else is on your mind, KC? What else you been up to? Seen any movies lately?
Well, we were hearing you talk about is it Barbarian or something?
Barbarian, yeah.
Barbarian. And so I was talking to my wife about it because she's a big fan of horror movies, and so we talked about it. We're thinking about going Friday night. Do your recommendation.
Does she like milk?
I heard you say that too. She does. She loves milk, and
with the milk.
I think she'd like to stop drinking it as well. So maybe it'll cure her.
She might after this movie.
Really? It's that bad? I love milk. That's not good. I can't go. By the way, Casey, I wanted to ask you, because you weren't on when we talked about it. What are your thoughts on the railroad strike coming up?
I don't have any. I didn't even hear this. I heard for the very first time just today. So tell me
really?
What's going on. Yeah. What's going on there?
So they're going to go on strike Friday if they don't come to reach an agreement. And apparently one of the big unions just turned down a deal that they had struck. So it looks like they're going to be going on strike, and they're telling people to get ready right now. They're canceling a bunch of passenger trains in Northern California, some up in the Northeast. So it looks like it's coming to fruition, which is not good, especially when we have supply chain issues already. So we're compounding supply chain issues and, the shipping containers, along with now not being able to not just get them off the docks onto the rail yards, but from the rail yards to the consumer. So It could make the Q3 numbers look bad for some companies. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. So you just didn't know about it too much? You didn't know too much about it?
I hadn't heard anything about it. It's actually literally today was the very first time that I heard about it, and I hadn't actually looked into it yet. It's interesting. I know supply chain around shipping containers from overseas has been an issue for a while. Um, so this sounds like it's just adding on to some of the different supply chains that we're gonna have problems with. I really this market is looking pretty trashy. I got to tell you, man. I don't know if you saw the DD that I put out or the technical analysis that I did on the SPY that I put out on my Discord or not, but I don't see I don't see some positive things for the market ahead. And things like CPI data that just came out looking like trash. We're probably going to get. I don't. What are you guys thinking? Are you thinking 75 or 100 basis points for next week?
We disagree on this one.
I'm going with 75. But what are you guys thinking?
As of tonight, I'm thinking 75, but I'm going to wait and see what happens with the railroad strike into next week, and the market action as well. I mean, if we have more red days, I think they're more likely to go with 75.
But we would all agree that more than 75 should probably be done, though. I think
Probably
right?
Absolutely.
So. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Yeah. So I did a poll today to see kind of what people thought in general. I had 677 votes. 45% of them picked 100 basis points. 37% said 75 basis points. 10% said 125, and 7% said 50. So I think everybody, I want to say almost everybody feels like it should be 100, but I have a feeling that it's going to kind of come rolling in at 75, and I don't think it's doing enough. I don't think it's doing anything to help the economy turn around, and they're not acting fast enough. And I don't know, man. Supply chain distribution of goods around the country is not a. It's never a good thing, man. We've seen what happens when toilet paper starts drying up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, you can't
I
find
could
it.
never understand. Yeah, I could never understand that one, but it'll be something, right? Like if things aren't getting shipped around, if it's not toilet paper, it'll be Q-tips or I don't know, something's gonna stop showing up on the shelves and everybody's gonna go nuts and people start panicking and that's when you start crazy things start happening. I don't know if
People start
have you guys
hoarding.
ever lived through like an oil a gas crisis? Tony, I know you're ancient, so you have. I know you have.
I've lived through, a couple hundred years.
He
of
was
them.
there when they discovered
Yeah.
oil.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Crisis. He was there when they found
Imagine,
it.
I mean, you weren't even around, guys, when they had the hand crank crisis. There was a shortage of those. Yeah, it was bad.
But I mean, when people can't get gas, they start doing crazy things. I lived through one of those in Arizona, and it was just because they had a pipeline that had a problem, and so they had to start shipping gas into Phoenix, Arizona. And for about a week, we had a gas crisis, and people were doing some nutty stuff. People started getting crazy and weird, and it was just like, guys, we knew there was a solution coming. We knew that all people had to do was just start, keep buying gas the normal way that they normally do, but people couldn't stop themselves from going to the store and panic buying things. And it's like, don't do that. Don't panic buy stuff. Don't, because that's what really causes a strain on the supplies. Don't panic buy.
Casey, do you remember like 2 or 3 years ago when there was a hurricane in Houston and the pipeline between Houston and the distribution facility in Austin got shut down?
Yep.
And for about 3 days, there was there was limited gas in Austin, and all the soccer moms got on Facebook and got worried about it. Sorry, moms.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no gas in Austin.
Yep.
Zero. But you could go.
Everybody started freaking out too. And
I mean, people were like, I gotta get my kids to the hospital. But you could go 15 miles outside of town and find gas just fine. It wasn't a shortage of gas. It was panic buying because everybody, panicked, which is why I always tell you guys, have some gas in, some 5-gallon cans in your garage if you got one. Have some food, have some bottled water. You don't know what is going to make people panic, even if it's irrational. We have plenty of gas, and it's not like we don't have other, it's not like the trucks weren't moving and they couldn't come from other locations. But yeah, here within 10 miles, you couldn't get it.
That's
stupid.
crazy.
Just stupid.
Yeah. Crazy.
Hey, KC, on a different topic, you probably know more than me and Mass at this point, since we've been distracted with other stuff. Can you catch us up on the AMC Disney thing? Did you cover that at all on your live stream?
No, I have a feeling I was going to come on. You guys are going to hit me with a bunch of questions. I'll be like, no, don't have any answers.
Well,
unfortunately,
I was hoping to share some good news with folks, but unfortunately, I mean, I know of it. I read the bullet points and I already forgot them. So
yeah, I mean, all I can tell you is just everything that was put out in Adam Aaron's tweet. But I know Adam Aaron has had a long time running a business partnership with Disney for a very long time. And so I'm excited to see that Disney is willing to give AMC, first crack at movies. So like, whoa, I had to dodge that toothpick there.
That's it. I got a whole box of them right here. Get ready.
But I think that's exciting to know that they're going to give us the first crack on some of their movies that are coming out, because I know that steals away from AMC's earnings. And so if we can get first crack at those movies, get an opportunity to push those out, get people in the movie theaters, I think that's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing.
Absolutely. Yep. Agreed.
All right. Well, let's talk about HYMC for a second. I shared some thoughts the other day on Highcroft, and that is the very next thing that I'm going to spend more time looking into. But I'm gonna share with you guys what I said yesterday on my live stream and what I did with Highcroft. Because I said in March, wait to buy Highcroft. Don't buy it in that $2 to $3 run up. That was retail FOMO, and that you could wait and be patient and buy it for about $1. I could have been wrong, but I was right. So I started buying it at $1, and then I bought more at 73 cents in the last couple of weeks. And for me, I already own Highcroft Mining by virtue of owning a lot of AMC stock. AMC owns a lot of shares of Highcroft. So if you own AMC, you already own Highcroft. But if you want to own extra Highcroft on speculation, that's cool. And I wanted to get a little bit, but I wanted it at a fair price. So I waited, picked it up at $1 and then at 73 cents, waiting for either some good news out of drilling, knowing from the reports that nothing really is coming with Highcroft till 2024. Based on all of the press releases and all of the reports that Highcroft themselves has put out. This is not bearish. I like Highcroft. I think it's a good speculative bet for AMC, but this is facts. So I bought a little on speculation, park it for 5 years. That's fine with me. But if there was a retail run up or any good news, I could make a decent profit if I get it cheap. I saw the press release from Highcroft, Diane Garrett, yesterday. I know that she's going to an investor conference at the end of this week. I think tomorrow, maybe even today. And it was probably what I call a puffer piece in anticipation of that. And as we know, there's a lot of people in retail that are AMC apes, just anxious for any news on Highcroft to go in and pump it and buy more. So based on the 40% run up yesterday, I did sell my Highcroft at almost the top. And I did that on my live stream and said I will be buying back a couple days from now or next week when it drops back down to 70 cents or so. Why? Because I'm not a geologist. I'm by no means a report expert in the mineral field. Okay, let's just get that straight. But I do know how Wall Street reacts to good news. And I believe that if Highcroft had true good news from those core samples, the stock would have gone up far more than $1.09. And I would have been willing to hold it for $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever it went to. That's cool. But as soon as it started leveling off and coming down, I got out, and I will rebuy. And I've locked in some profits. I can rebuy and reestablish my position. So I've seen all the bullish tweets that completely disagree with what I'm saying. I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just sharing my thoughts. That's where I'm at with it. But I could be wrong. So for my own sanity, I need to go in, and now that I got the freaking 35 trillion video out of the way, I need to go dig into that Highcroft thing more. But this was just a trading decision for me yesterday. You guys can jump in if you got a different viewpoint. That's cool.
I'm just gonna say cheers to Diane for putting that awesome report and allowing the news kind of get out there and show that they have something that people have been saying they probably didn't have. So cheers to Diane.
I think it's great that she's doing the investment, the institutional, shake the hands at the end of this week. I want to own some more Highcroft again. I will be buying it. Yesterday was a tough day to make money. So I had a couple of opportunities with an IPO and Highcroft, and so I jumped on it. Was it yesterday or the day before? Whatever day it was.
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
You guys
when
know
the market
what I mean.
was going down. Yeah.
So, sometimes you got to jump on them. And that was a healthy profit considering where I had bought in.
Can I ask a question real quick? Because I see 24 in the money brought up something that we haven't talked about in a long time. Wanda. 24 in the money said, why is Wanda holding still these 10,000 shares of AMC? And now they also should have 10,000 shares of Ape, right? What would be their reason for holding all this time? And I know I think we've talked about this before, but in case anyone's missed it, my theory always was that in case there was any type of litigious action that is taking place, Wanda still has a stake in the company, and they would be able to proceed with legal action. So, but I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I think that's what we said, right? If you're not a stakeholder, if you have no losses, if you're not affected, if you don't hold the stock, you can't sue. Right. And so we're thinking, this is just our guess. We're thinking that might have something to do with it.
I mean, the fact that they were told to get out of everything else, but they kept 10,000 shares of AMC, and like they said, now have 10,000 shares of Ape as well. We're assuming. So it is interesting. We're still hanging on, right? But I don't know. I don't think we're going to hear from Wanda about why they have them. So it's going to be speculation from here on out.
Arthur is asking, did you see the video on the core samples? I did, Arthur. Again, I'm not a geologist. I took geology in college. I have I'm as layman on this as the next guy. The most I've done on Highcroft was read hundreds and hundreds of pages of field studies and surveys back in March. I cannot look at a core sample and tell you with any level of expertise if it is good or not. But my novice judgment was, I was like, it's a core sample. I didn't see anything to blow me away, but I'm no expert to make any judgment. So don't listen to what I say. I'm going by the chart, and I'm going by Wall Street is a instant arbitrator of value. And if there was real value in that press release, the thing would have shot up. That much I know from experience. I don't need to be a core sample expert.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
Yep. If they had found something legitimate that the market felt, we would have seen that thing go to $5 probably, or at least 4 or 3. Would not stop at $1. That's for
There'll
sure.
be a time for Highcroft. When they find something legitimate, you're going to see this thing shoot the F up. But I think there's plenty of time to be patient and pick it up at a cheaper price. So I'm waiting again for the low 70s. Will I get it? I don't know. And if I never get back in Highcroft, that's cool. I own it through virtue of owning, thousands
AMC.
of shares of AMC.
Did you guys know that Mudrick Capital still owns shares in AMC as well?
No.
Yeah, they own 12.68 million.
Were those from before the ones they picked up in June of last year? Like the original? Did they have original investment position?
So it's really kind of weird because Ortex is saying that their last trade date was on the 24th of December of 2020, but we know they sold shares in June of last year. So that's really kind of confusing to me. So if this particular division of Mudrick Capital Management LP is different than the division that sold in June, then this could have been perhaps their initial investment, the 12.68 million that's showing here, because it does say the last trade date was 24th of December 2020. So that's been a while.
Yeah.
Was that on a
Pantheon talked about this.
13G or 13D?
I'm on Ortex looking at current insider positions, and it's showing up there. It's not. It doesn't show whether it was a filing or not. It just shows holding the positions of insiders.
Yeah, 13D and 13Gs have to be filed in January. You know, their annual report, or if they have a substantial change in insider ownership. So when I hear December, that's kind of what I think of, that it might be one of those. I don't have Fintel pulled up here in front of me, but if they sold all of it, then there would be an updated form filing. So if you're seeing it, they must still own some.
Still have it, yeah. Still holding. I can't tell if Pantheon's in the chat or if Pantheon, if you're in the chat, just want to say hey, and I sent you back an email today, my friend. Hope you got it.
As far as Highcroft, just to close out where I'm at with it, it is one of the very next things when I have free time that I plan to do is spend more time looking at the core sample report more than the quick read I did on it 2 days ago. And try and become more of an expert in gold mining and core samples, but that's going to take a couple days. Like, I'm not going to put out tweets and pump something that I'm not really knowledgeable on. And I see a lot of people doing that, unfortunately. And there are people and that are way more knowledgeable on this than I am. And I've seen some of them on Twitter. I've liked some of their posts, and I've reached out to others. And as soon as I know more info, I'll let y'all know.
Sounds good. Do you know, Tony, do they make those samples available so that the general public can know like what the exact what they're actually pulling out as far as percentage wise and the quality of the
that was
okay.
in the core sample report. Yeah. All of that was there. I mean, there were some people ecstatic about it, but I have a hard time discerning whether these are over optimistic retail investors or geologists, right? If you're not a gold or mineral mining geologist, I really am going to take it with a grain of salt. And I know some of these people I see pumping, I saw them pumping Highcroft at $3. So I don't really take their opinion with a lot of weight. I don't want to be getting my info from someone who's not in the field. And I don't want to, that's why I'm trying to be very careful telling you guys, I am no expert in gold core samples.
It's important to know that. I mean, that detailed information is really important to understand. So if you can't get a grip on it, maybe it's something you shouldn't be in, you know?
I hope it works out. I hope it works out for AMC as an AMC investor. Adam Aaron got those shares cheap, I hope. I mean, $1.20 to $1.25. It seemed cheap, but now it's dropped to 70 cents. That we need it to go up. We need Highcroft to be successful because that impacts AMC's earnings. So, goddamn, I hope they're successful.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly playing it for the retail swing, the momentum swing. I want to get it cheap, wait for news, and sell on run-ups. That's how I'm going to play Highcroft. Like I said, owning AMC, I already have the success of Highcroft already is going to greatly impact me as an AMC owner. Why do I want to double up my risk buying Highcroft at an overpriced price? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Overpriced being $2-3.
Yep. Absolutely.
Do you remember what the price of HYMC was on the last earnings report when they collected the data for it? And the only reason I'm asking is because that's the price that we have to be over to see price improvement on their reporting, quarterly
So that would
reporting
be
coming up.
June.
It's the price of the stock at the end of each quarter is what goes to our earnings per share.
So
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering what price we have to be over by next quarter
when we
in
get that
order to show
report,
like a profit.
when would that come out? June 2022.
In order to show a profit, Casey.
Well, I mean, a profit month, quarter over quarter. I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's not. We're not. Obviously, we're not having. We have to get over $1.19 in order for it to show an actual profit. But to have quarter over quarter improvement in price, what was it at before, or what did they report it at? And I could just go back and look at the quarterly.
I mean, at the end of June was the last quarter end, right?
Yeah,
For
it's
AMC.
3.83 million.
So we were like at $1.11, $1.10 on Highcroft, and so
yes.
I mean, Highcroft would need to be several dollars in price to meaningfully impact AMC enough to get them in a positive earnings per share. Several dollars, $2, $3, $4.
Yeah, it looks like we were right between 120 and 130, right around when the earnings came out.
And that will be the price of Highcroft at the end of this quarter, end of September, would need to be in that range. If Highcroft is lower than it was in June, it's going to negatively impact our earnings again.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, on top of a slow Q3, we're going to have right now, Highcroft is going to drag us down even more in Q3, us being AMC.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, that sucks. But
you know, Diane Highcroft, she's got 2 weeks. September 16th is her meeting. 2 weeks to get the price up before the end of September.
2 weeks. That's doable. That is very doable.
Yeah, and I hope it works. You never know. I mean, on a low float, not a low float, but on a low price stock like this, it doesn't take a lot of buying to get it moving.
Did
you guys happen to
Tony, you brought that up?
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Casey. I talk too much. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, did either of you guys happen to see Marcel buy the I guess it was $100,000 worth of AMC today? Did you guys happen to see
I did.
I heard.
And can we just have a moment of silence and applause for everybody in the audience for Marcel for truly being a boss?
Shouts.
I did watch that live. He bought like 8,000 shares of AMC and 3,700 or so of Ape. Man, I wish I had the free cash right now to go do that. And hats off to a fellow Ape for doing that. I love to see that.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I plan on going back and watching that.
Sorry for ruining it for you, but
I know. What? He did it?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. By the way, I was just gonna say, as far as Highcroft goes, going back and looking over the report here a little bit, learning about these numbers here, discerning what these holes and the number of meters and the gold. Well, I'm trying to see here with the G to see, okay, grams a metric ton. Yeah, this is interesting, right? They show the numbers here. This is the silver and gold. I never really looked into a drilling report before, but definitely something interesting to look at when my time gets freed up a little more. Because this really goes in depth, looking at each hole, the number. They have everything, return 20 meters and then they 50. I mean, this is really broken down. I can't believe we have access to all this stuff. It's pretty interesting.
What I plan to do is compare that result that they got to other successful mining companies and the reports that they've put out, so I have some basis of comparison. Because literally, I mean, the only gold that I've invested in before was the GLD ETF. That's my
ETF.
extent of gold mining knowledge. I am by no means a gold mining company expert. So I got a steep learning curve, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Peter says, can you please touch on Tesla for tomorrow? I don't know what is going on with Tesla tomorrow. Do they have earnings coming up? I'm out of the loop with Tesla. We asked this at the beginning of the stream when people were asking about Tesla. Their last earnings was July 20th. So July, August, that can't be earnings. What is going on with Tesla? You guys are going to have to help me out.
I'm looking.
I'm looking too. Lawsuit. No, this is 12 minutes ago. Lawsuit accuses Tesla of overstating autopilot, full self-driving capabilities. Is that what you're talking about? That would be big.
No, it went up.
Tesla sued for deceiving customers about self-driving cars.
I
That's another.
don't know if they were saying it was good news or bad news. I don't know if it was good or bad news.
I don't know either. I spent my entire day working on that video this morning, and so I'm behind on some tickers.
They had 3, 4, 5 straight trading days of upwards momentum, followed by the down day that pretty much everybody had yesterday, and then today was an additional 3.59% up today, with another 0.54 in the aftermarket hours. Like a 4% move today.
I'd like to buy Tesla like in the 225 to 250 range, and I missed my opportunity in July. So I'm waiting. I don't know if I'll get it, but there's like 9,000 stocks to invest in out there. So I'm not rushing to buy Tesla until it's at a price that I want.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're one of the only American automakers right now, period, that are producing anything. So they're not going to probably go down like crazy anytime soon.
I like Tesla. It's a great retail momentum play, but I want to get in at as low a price as possible because the PE ratio on Tesla is high. And if we have a market crash, you're going to see this thing come down a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
High PE stocks.
Barry's big on that, right?
High PE stocks are, some of the biggest ones to fall when the market falls. So that's what I'm looking at it from a non-emotional standpoint. Like I like to trade Tesla. I like the company. I love Elon Musk, but I'm not in love with the company. So I'm just trying to get in at a price target that works for me. And I don't feel any pressure to buy it at 300, hoping it goes to 4. I'd rather get in at 200 or 225 or 230. And if I miss it, I'm patient.
So on a weekly, technical wise, on the weekly, we've got RSI sitting at 54.76, which means it's got plenty of room to continue to move upwards. And I'm looking at the vortex indicator on this, and it's actually got some very heavy buying pressure right now compared to selling pressure. So it's got room to move. The one thing that I do see that I don't like right now is that it's got falling volume on price movement upwards. So although I feel like we're kind of seeing that across the board in the entire market, I feel like the whole market in general is kind of losing volume. I haven't looked to see what the day-over-day volume is on. Let me just check something real quick here on.
Tesla's had declining weekly volume for 7 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm kind of worried about, because you got rising price, falling volume, but all the other indicators look really good. Again, like I said, for example, if you look at the DIA, you've got it's had falling volume ever since June of this year, so, and rising price. So, I think that across the board we've seen falling volume across the entire market. So I'm not. It kind of helps to explain why that might be the case. Less buying sentiment, I guess, in the market because people are maybe a little afraid of what's what the futures hold. Let me check one more thing though.
By the way, I saw Grandpa Barney in the chat. Thanks, Grandpa Barney. Appreciate you, buddy. Much love.
I see Thomas B saying he's in Galveston. We're going to be down Galveston way this weekend, FYI. If you see Tony Denaro and a redhead in a bar somewhere. Peter says, are y'all predicting a green day tomorrow overall? People are predicting a green day tomorrow overall. Do y'all agree? I think the X factor, as I like to say, for the market tomorrow is maybe this railroad situation. The market is not going to ignore that.
Nope. Can't.
I was looking for green on Friday.
You are looking for green tomorrow?
Friday. Thursday. Tomorrow I'm kind of still thinking.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's tomorrow's my Friday because I'm off.
Yeah, no, I was kind of, my outlook for tomorrow is probably pretty close to what we saw have happen today, or maybe even down a little bit. And then Friday, I'm thinking that there might be a little bit more green on Friday. That's just kind of what I'm seeing, though.
Yeah, based on. Oh wait, let me pull the SPY up here. The SPY daily chart is telling me uncertain. I'm not going to be making any SPY bets. So let's put it that way. We'll see what we wake up to. It was nice to wake up to green today. I tell you that. Sorry, you dropped off.
I just wrote help. Oh man, damn internet.
Lico asking if I got the crystal ball yet. Not yet. I think it's due back after we get back from vacation, Lico. So I'll keep you posted.
Hey, Tony,
I'm going to be a little...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Casey. Go ahead.
It's my internet. You go ahead, please, this time.
Okay. I was just someone asked, do you guys have way more money parked on the sidelines right now? I'll just speak for myself. No, I do not. I'm very tight right now on cash.
That's a no for me.
I went into a lot of cash and closed out my margin in November, but I have been investing in a lot of my favorite stocks as we go down in the market. So my cash is getting drawn down that I had in my account, but I have other businesses. I'm not jobless, much, might be a surprise to some of you who listen to the little girls on Twitter, but I do own several businesses and I have cash coming in every week. So I am funding my accounts with extra money as I have it. So that is how I'm continuing to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Sean says, I'm going big AMC calls. I did just buy December $10 calls, Sean. Good luck to you. Let us know what you are thinking. $10 strikes on AMC December is what I bought. I like to buy calls, not the weeklies. I like to buy them 60 to 90 days out, close to the current price to give myself the best chance of making some extra money.
Anybody want to buy a Peloton?
You got a Peloton for sale?
Yeah.
Stock of the machine.
Wait, no, the machine, the actual bike.
Wasn't
okay.
it? Did I see an article that the Peloton founders were leaving the company?
Yes. They're getting out, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, what's going on there, right? Like, are they bailing for a reason? Like, do they see the end is near? Perhaps, I don't know.
Huh.
Kind of a little worrisome for Peloton owners, I would imagine.
Yeah, that is a company I have been reluctant to consider investing in. I know a lot of people love it, and they're like, "Oh, it's cheap. Let's just buy it." Like I've resisted the temptation. So
Me, Kevin's big on Peloton, right? That's where I first
Well, that's
got introduced to it.
that's
him.
all you need to know to stay away.
Right. That's right. Bye.
Tim says
Oh,
he'll
man.
rent your Peloton.
There you go.
He'll rent it. Well, I guess he can come over. Muskie just said the Chiefs beat the San Diego Chargers. That's like a bittersweet thing for me. I grew up and graduated high school in San Diego, specifically Grossmont, but high school was in La Mesa. But San Diego Chargers was one of my teams that I was really fond of. Kind of became a Kansas City fan later. Just it's always kind of been. I mean, it's a namesake, so I gotta love it, and that's part of the reason why I just wear the hat, because it's me. And so it's bittersweet to see that the Chiefs won, but I do like the Chiefs, so I'm happy still.
So wait, you went to high school in La Mesa?
Yeah, La Mesa, California.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I know
Mhm.
exactly where it is. I went to school in college, San Diego.
Which college?
College. I lived
Which
in
one?
college. Oh no, I
Oh,
went.
which one?
I went to SDCC for a little bit, and
Okay.
then I transferred to USD for a semester
Oh, wow.
to take up film. Yeah, film production. Yeah.
I went to PLNU, which was right on the coast of Point Loma, and it was amazing. My freshman college dorm was probably a baseball throw away from the beach. So we were up on the
Wow.
cliffside. Yeah, dude, it was like the best, man. You grab your surfboard, 5 minutes, you'd be down on the beach. You could go you start surfing in 5 minutes. It was the best thing ever. They actually have a field, a practice field that's right out, baseball field that's right out there next to the freshman dorm, and you can hit home runs off into the ocean.
Oh,
It's the
that's
most
awesome.
beautiful. Oh, dude, it's so beautiful. It's the best thing ever. If you ever have a chance to get down there, it's a private campus, but everybody can just drive. I think you could. Well, back in those days, you could just drive on campus. You could go park down at the bottom of the hill and go stand out there on the baseball field, grab yourself a baseball bat, and hit a couple home runs off into the ocean at sunset. It's beautiful.
Did you say that was in Point Loma?
Point Loma, yeah,
Oh yeah, that's beautiful, man. Point
yeah.
Loma. Oh, there's a baseball. Wow. Okay, I gotta check that out. You know what? I have my surfboard right behind me, right? Right now.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, my longboard's right behind me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dream of Stuff says, meet Kevin as a financial advisor. I did hear him say he's now a certified financial advisor on his I'm coming back to YouTube. Like, we knew you were coming back, Kevin. This is the most tired trick of YouTubers, the manipulation trick. I'm leaving, never coming back. How many people have we seen do that? But Kevin is apparently a CFA now, or a CFP. The only reason I put that comment up is I got a text from my son. He's a sophomore at UT in the business school. And he told me he was pretty excited because he has a interview for an internship, which he said almost no one gets as a sophomore, even interviews. And it's with a leading financial advisory firm in the U.S. So kind of excited about that.
That's
I said,
cool.
well, I don't know if you should be a CFA or a CFP. We can talk about that over the next 3 years, but it's a great experience to go get. So wish him luck on that interview tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Pam, I have to. He has an interview tomorrow, T?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good luck. Definitely. Good luck.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what career field he's going to go into. I told him, please don't be a hedge fund manager.
But you don't want to go against your kin.
Right.
Yeah.
I will have to destroy you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Right. By the way, I have to say, yeah, Pam, did you say you took salsa dancing lessons in La Jolla?
She
Wouldn't
did.
happen
She
to have
did
been
say
at
that.
the Marriott, would it? Have been at the Marriott in La Jolla? That would be wild if you said that. We don't have to wait for an answer. No,
He
you're not
did
hearing
say
things. I
Pam.
did
He
call
did
you.
say Pam. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I ate salsa at the Marriott. In La Jolla.
I took salsa dancing lessons at the Marriott in La Jolla. They used to have salsa dancing. It's the only time I've ever and actually I was no, really? Get out, Pam. No way. Get the hell out of here.
That is
That's
funny.
crazy. How wild is that? Wow.
I used to do a
How
lot
random.
of salsa dancing back in the day.
Oh my God, that's nuts. The old pink Marriott. Yeah. Oof. Oh, that's funny. I bet I probably also served you a drink there, Pam. Because I did bartending there too. I don't know how long ago you were there, but yeah, that's funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off track.
What year were you bartending there?
Let's see. So I was in school there from 2003 to 6.
No, never
Yeah,
mind.
early
Okay.
2000s.
Robusto says, Tony, tell your son to chase women, be focused on money and future. I think you mean not to chase women, right?
Mm.
Yeah, he's been indoctrinated with the Denaro school of dating since a young age. So don't worry about that. He has plenty of girls, but he knows not to get involved with any of them.
That's so
All
funny.
right.
What a small world.
Yeah, crazy. It is crazy. If you were really back there, Pam, that's it's nuts. We probably met each other and saw each other 20 years ago. Wow. Small world. Big world, but small world.
Someone asked in the chat, where does the SPY number come from? The SPY is ETF based off the S&P 500. So just add a 0 to it and you have the S&P 500 index. If you want to know what is in the S&P 500, just Google the S&P and you can see, I'm sure there's somewhere a list of all of the 500 companies, or you can look at the top performers or the top holdings, but it is whatever companies are in the
Apple,
S&P
Microsoft.
500.
Yeah. Google.
It actually, so I always forget this. I don't know why, but do you guys remember what Google was called before they turned to Alphabet A and B? Was it GOG? Do you remember?
Oof.
Or was
no.
it wasn't always Alphabet though, right?
It was,
feel like
I mean, it was. You mean the ticker symbol?
Yeah, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like it used to be something different.
It was Goog, GOOG.
Right, GOOG.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now what is it? Now if you type in GOG, it doesn't show up, right? Does it show up still? Let me try it. Hold on.
Let's see.
Yeah, if you type in GOG, it does. It says Alphabet. Corporate.
Yeah.
But it does show up as GOG. But
it does show up as GOG, but it's
some of these companies,
right now it's Alphabet.
Some of these companies do a rebranding and then later they go in and change the ticker symbol. So I don't recall. There's been some I've seen that rename the company, and I've seen some of them say they plan an upcoming ticker change. I can't remember if Google is one of those or not.
Okay.
Man, they have so much invested in the Google brand that would be, that's a big change to change your ticker symbol like that. I think they're waiting to see if the metaverse works out or not.
You know, there's a ticker symbol FROG.
Is that a joke?
No, it really is.
Okay.
It really is. I just didn't know that. A security firm or something.
Okay.
I'd never seen that. Frog.
Gary says, what do you guys think of having Red Bill coming on in the future? I don't know if I've watched Bill Cumming. Is this like Red Pill dating stuff?
No, this is the guy that people were talking about.
Oh, that's Red Pill Bill.
Yes.
I did watch a couple of his videos, only a couple. The first one that my eye got drawn to his shorts because he had a Texas cowgirl riding on horseback, and I was like immediately approved.
Right.
Approved. Oh man.
Approved. Subscribed.
Some tight jeans, beautiful girl on a horse. Yep. But then I got distracted. So I haven't had enough chance to do I got distracted with other things, work related.
Yep.
So Tony,
So
I gotta
I need
ask
to
you.
watch some more of his videos just to give an honest opinion. But he is on my radar now. Yeah, Casey.
Was that so you had a white hat on the other day? Was that a fedora or
It
was it a?
was.
It was
Yeah.
okay. Because when I saw it, I was like, at first I went, "Oh, hey, that's a nice fedora," and then I started looking at it closer, and I was like, "Wait a minute, is that is that like a weird looking cowboy hat or something?" I was having a hard time telling if it was a cowboy hat or if it was a fedora. So it was kind of
No,
almost like it was a cross.
it's a fedora. You know, the little girls on Twitter like to make fun of what I wear, so I'm just gonna up the ante every live stream. Pretty soon I'm
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
wearing. And when I get to clown costumes, we've come to the end of
You've
the
gone
line.
to,
But
Oh, I
gone
love
we're
it.
too
gonna
far.
we're gonna ramp it up until they get tired of talking about costumes.
Oh, I
There
love
you
it.
go.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, if they're gonna make a big deal about it, it's like it's I don't when I was a kid, we used to catch lizards down in San Diego, and they always teach you, like if you get bit by a lizard, you don't try to pull away because they have serrated teeth that go backwards, right? You pull away
Just
and you rip your skin up and
rip your
everything,
skin
right?
up.
So what do is you shove your finger in further. you don't, you don't, you don't pull away.
Right.
You just shove it in until they go, I'm tired. It's like
Right.
so. Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do, man. You up the ante. You say, look, you're gonna stick. You're gonna bite me. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna shove my fingers down your face.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna get silly. Stick around.
Seriously.
You thought Hulk Hogan was the best I could do, buddy? We ain't even getting started.
Uh, Tony's got hats to make his hair grow from the opposite
Yes.
side.
Did you see that one, Casey?
Did you see that hat?
No, I did not.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. You
You
still
need to
have it? Put
see.
it on right now. It's great.
Yeah, I got it. I actually have it plugged in and charging right here. Hang on one second.
So have you ever seen, Casey? They have these hats. They're like almost like helmets though, that they do infrared light that point in on your scalp to help you grow hair. Tony has the
No.
inverse of that. The lights go out, but it actually helps grow hair.
It does
What?
not help grow hair.
No, it doesn't grow hair. I'm just kidding.
Dude, that's sick. I love that. Oh man,
How
where do you
cool is
find
that?
these hats at? That is so cool.
I'm trying to get it to the mode where it changes.
What would you? What
Dude,
would happen if you cut the lights
I'm
completely?
gonna have an epileptic seizure here.
Uh-oh.
This is the one that's kind of like. I might have to take this to the beach. When we go out to the club.
What, this weekend with
Yeah.
Scarlett? Good luck with that. She might not be with you the whole
Between
night.
this and the glow in the dark condoms, it's going to be be crazy.
Oh man.
No, I got the beer here. Brandon saying, "Wow, that beer's been in the fridge." No, I got it, man. I got about 15 minutes after I put it in. That is a rad hat, dude. I really like that. I might have to. Where did you get it at?
Amazon.
I'm gonna have to check that out because that is really.
I was
cool
like,
looking.
Amazon, show me the silliest fucking hats you have. There's some good ones. We got a bunch of great ones on the way.
Oh man, I got to get one of those. That is really cool. If only you get to do like the Matrix kind of thing where it like trickles down with the green color and then make it look like almost like dollar bills are like raining or something. That would be super cool.
All right, you've given me something to look for.
That's really neat, man. I'm gonna have to find one of those.
Someone said Tony's just missing the fanny pack. Don't think I haven't ordered a Matt Kors fanny pack.
You did not. Get out of here. Don't tell me you ordered them. No, I refuse to believe it.
I mean, there's no telling what might show up on this show for props on a nighttime broadcast.
Oh man.
Have you seen Phil do the Matt Kors fanny pack dance? I've been practicing my moves.
No, he has a dance?
Yes.
I have not seen it.
There is. Yep.
Oh man. He is up in his game on those songs, man. I tell you what, he is pumping them out right now. He's on fire.
Pam says I'm a freak like Tony. Pam, you know, once you get over about 90 years old like me, you stop caring about what people think. That's where they underestimate me. El Tigre, yes. Oh man,
Diaz is saying, "Don't let you influence me. I got to be up early in the morning." How many times have I like sent you messages at like 1:30 in the morning? You probably think I never sleep.
Well, I mean, I often get accused of never sleeping, but I know you get up as early as I do, and I'm always like, how the fuck is KC still up messaging me at 1:30 or 2 in the morning? I'm from, you know, real knows real, man. You are up late hours working or doing something, drinking, I don't know. But yes,
No.
KC's up late putting in the hours for you guys just like me.
Yeah. Sometimes it works out like that. I don't know. Sleep is overrated.
I can sleep it. I always say, my grandma used to say, I can sleep when I'm dead, but, or maybe I just made that up on my own, but, I can sleep after the moass, or I can sleep when I'm dead.
What happened to your knee? Tim's in here saying, "How's your knee doing?" What happened to your
Oh,
knee?
I'm at about 90% healed. I would say, much like you, KC, I got knocked over by a dog, and about a 200-pound husky in an he was excited to go outside, and he just barreled right past me and knocked me over a box that was right at knee level. So it would have been one thing just to fall down, but I fell down sideways over a box. And I think I pulled let's see, your ACL is in the front. So I think the posterior ligament is what I pulled. The back of my knee from my thigh to my calf, something happened to it. I mean, the fall was nothing. But I am old. even though I think I'm athletic. I mean, I guess my body's more susceptible to injury. And yeah, for like the last month and a half, I have not been able to, like, if you stand up and then you want to look at the bottom of your sock, no. To bend down and kneel down and put something in the bottom of the mini fridge, no, not going to happen. Even sitting for a while was painful, but yeah, I'm 90% back. So hoping right when I was ready to start going back to the gym, the injury happened. So maybe by the end of this month, we'll be back, because I've been doing keto hardcore again since early July, and I was just ready to start going back and hit the heavyweights soon. 2 weeks, Casey.
2 weeks. It's always the right answer. So tell me something. I know this is really off topic and has nothing to do with stocks whatsoever, but I've never done keto, but I have done the Atkins diet before, and it works really, really well. In fact, I've done it so many times. I've done the diet like 2 or 3 times, and it works every time. How do you like compare keto to, like, have you ever done the Atkins?
Yeah, I mean, I think Atkins gives you a little more leeway on carbs, right?
I thought it was the other way around, but I don't know for sure.
That's what I thought. Other way around.
Well, I mean, I do what I call strict clean keto. So I only eat meat and unpackaged foods, green vegetables. My carbs on a daily basis are about 20 grams. And that is pretty extreme for keto. I mean, a normal keto diet might be 50 or 60 grams of carbs. But I think Atkins gives you a little more leeway in the amount of foods that you can eat. You guys, it's been a long time since I've looked at Atkins.
I think when you're doing the first like 2 weeks or whatever it is, I forget that phase called, but you're on like 6 grams, and that's it. And then, it's very, very strict. And then you can start upping it to, 8 or 9 grams, and then 12, and then 20, and then 25 or something like that. But it slowly kind of brings carbs back in and wreaks havoc on your gut.
Yeah, I think both are good. I mean, the killer thing in America's diet, number one, is portion sizes are too big. Number two, carbs are too much and they're too addictive, and we have too much sugar. So eliminating sugar from your diet and eliminating salt from all the processed foods, those two things alone, eliminating sugar and anything in a package, any sort of processed food, which are loaded with sugar and salt, you will see an amazing difference in how you feel and the amount of pounds that come off just from those two changes.
So just don't eat. Got it. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
pretty much.
I go, my shopping is very easy. I go to the meat aisle and I go to the veggie section and that's about it. And then Scarlett, is like looking in the ice cream aisle and cookies. And I'm like, oh, Lord, it's tough to do when you're, don't try and do keto or Atkins if you're the only one in your house doing it, because you probably won't survive. But if you're accustomed to doing it, or you get your partner to work with you and not have those foods in the house for a while till you're over the carb cravings, it can be done. It's a struggle for me, looking at all the crap she has in the cabinet. Oh, I brought you a pint of ice cream. What the? Sometimes I feel like she's sabotaging me. Do you guys have a spouse? Anyone have a spouse that sabotages your desire to be buff and flat waisted in shape?
I think we both sabotage each other. It's really kind of sad.
Really?
Like one of us will get one will get like really like super gung ho, and then the other person will be like, let's just have a drinky drink today. Not a big deal, right? Yeah, and no, it's gonna kill the diet. And then it'll flip the other way around, where the other person will be like, we should start dieting, and the other person like, but I just want a brownie. And it's like, okay, fine.
I keep on seeing people call out Pantheon in the chat, but I don't see Pantheon in the chat.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I haven't seen him make one comment, but everyone keeps saying, "Hey, Pantheon, jump on the stream," but I haven't seen him make one comment.
Yeah, Pantheon, I don't see you in my chat, and I don't see you in Restream.
Yuka says, I said hi to her earlier, but she completely ignored me.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But Pantheon, if you're in the chat, click on that link I sent you and come let us know that someone's not having a conversation with the ghost.
Yeah. People, the Ghost of Kiev is in here or something. I was gonna say, how'd you guys get onto keto and Atkins? How'd you guys get into talking about that?
I started
you were here.
after
you were here. No.
How did we get on it in the first place, or how did we talk about it?
Yeah. How'd it come up? Yeah.
Sideline topic. Pantheon. KC just asked a question.
No. How did we talked about it for some reason? I forget what it was.
I came out of the corporate world traveling on corporate per diem budget, being fed supplier dinners around the world, and probably, drinking a lot on trips. And I just was not in good shape, working, too many hours a day. You know how corporate life is, working 15, 16 hours a day. And then when I was out of the country, eating 5-course meals from suppliers with unlimited drinks. And I was just not in good shape. And that was when I was 40. When I left the corporate world, I was like, I got to change something. So I switched to keto when I was 40. And I've been on it now 14 years.
Dang.
I'm in perfect health. I take no medications at 54. I get my blood checked regularly. Blood pressure is good. Cholesterol is good. And so I swear by it. But you can do keto and be unhealthy. Let's not joke around. If you're eating pepperoni and cheese and you call that keto, you're probably not going to have very good results. You got to have a healthy outlook on it.
It's lean proteins, right?
Lean proteins, green vegetables.
Right.
I have occasional like avocado, blueberries, things with antioxidants.
Yep.
Within reason, you can't go overboard on certain carbs, but I try and keep it as healthy as I can. Occasional almonds and things like that. And then when I'm lifting heavy weights, I will add in some carbs, like whole oats or brown rice, things like that on weightlifting days. One serving.
So Casey, you were saying that on keto, they you kind of not keto, on Atkins, they eventually start to wean you back into carbs just so you can get back to your normal routine without you putting on tons of weight all at once, kind of thing.
Well, when I first did the very first time that I ever did keto, it worked really, really well. I melted off, I think it was like 35 pounds or 40 pounds in like 3
Wow.
months,
Yep.
and it did stay off. But I went back to doing the not the keto diet that Tony just referred to, of eating pizza, cheese, and pepperoni pizza, beer, and all that kind of other good stuff. But the one thing that I have to say is that most other diets, when you lose like 35 pounds that fast, you pick the weight back on really quickly.
Right.
With the Atkins diet, that didn't happen for me. It actually took time to gain the weight back again. So it seemed like it was legitimate, like fat loss, and I could see it. I was thinner. I felt better, and it actually enabled me to get to the point to where I could start doing triathlons. So
Oh wow.
that's yeah, it was that was the big problem, because I weighed at the time about 200 pounds. That got me down to about 175, 170, and then I could start running without hurting my knees and whatnot. So the joints felt better, and I could start running. And then I started doing triathlons, and then worked my weight all the way down to 150.
Oh wow.
So
Damn,
yeah,
150. How old were you?
Shoot.
30-ish.
All
I
right.
was 29, 30.
All right. I can relate then at that age. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm actually what do they call it? There's like 3 different bone density sizes, and I'm probably one of the small. I have a small frame, so I can whenever I lose weight, like for example, when I graduated high school, I weighed 135 pounds. So I'm a really small frame. I've quite frequently fit in size like 30 jeans in the past, and sometimes 28s. And so
Wow.
I just I have a small frame size, so I can pack on the weight, but I can also lose the weight really quickly too, and get down to what I think is probably, actually, when I was down to the 150 pounds, a lot of people thought that I was a cancer patient, just because my head looks so big compared to the rest of my body. And it was funny because I was in the best shape of my entire life. I was doing things I could never do before, and everybody said I looked like I was a cancer patient, and it was kind of depressing.
Yeah, it's like you can't win it. You can't win, right? If you're
Yeah,
too heavy or too skinny. Yeah.
yeah. There's no winning.
Interesting.
Someone said eat eggs. That actually, believe it or not, keto diet and just prepping is the reason that we got our first 2 chickens in the first place. It's like if I get 2 chickens, 2 hens, that's like free breakfast every morning.
Oh.
And now we have 6 or 8 hens. So
And every morning you remember to get up and put feed out and all that.
yeah.
Yep.
Let the dogs out, and then let
Feed
the
the
chickens
birds.
out. Now we get 8 eggs a day, so I sell them for $5 a dozen, the ones that I don't eat,
There you go.
to the neighbors. Sometimes I give them away, sometimes I sell them. Depends on if it's the nice neighbor or the mean one.
Really? You upcharge if you're mean.
Yeah. If you're a dick, you get an upcharge.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, to get organic eggs at Central Market here is what? Casey, have you been to Whole Foods or Central Market lately? It's like $8 or $9 for a dozen organic pasture raised eggs.
My wife wants to get chickens, but I keep telling her that I don't think that our homeowners association will allow that here. So
You do need to check. You do need to check. So I mean, in most parts of Austin, it's okay, but I don't know about, you're not in Austin city limits, and some different communities have different rules. You cannot have a rooster here, though. I
Oh,
mean,
right.
you can, but you can't have a noisy animal. So by default, you can't have a rooster.
Okay. Now, do you get to write that off as a agriculture or farming property? No, right?
No. I mean, I had some acreage before I sold it that had an ag exemption on it because there were cattle,
Okay.
and that is a thing here.
They have to have
And
four
then
legs.
you can have cattle or different animals and get an ag exemption that can drastically reduce the taxes, and that's big here in Texas because we don't have state income tax. It's property tax that will kill you.
You're right.
But when I bought that 55 acres and then I started selling off the lots on the acreage, and once I started doing that, once you sell the first lot, they go in and they remove your ag exemption and they charge you back taxes for the last 5 years.
Whoa. Wow. So no one
Yeah.
does that apparently.
So if you can keep your ag exemption, keep it in Texas.
Wow. Okay. If Casey chicken, someone said he'd be known as KFC. Was that possible? KFC on? Get that started now.
Yeah, we'll get that trend in here right away.
Yeah. It's starting tomorrow morning. By the way, I was gonna say, did you post your gnome picture up? I'm gonna find that, JC, by the way, and mail it to you when I find it. I don't know how I saw that. I'm like, oh my god, this is perfect. Did you see that, Tony? Did I send it to you too?
What was it?
DM for Twitter. It was a picture of a wizard gnome giving the finger with a stogie.
Yeah.
I don't think you sent that one to
Oh,
me.
let me send it to you. I'll send it to you. Hold on.
I did put it up on the live stream for everybody to see. I think I actually put it up a couple times.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
I'm like, oh my god, I gotta clip this.
I used to have an old supervisor who used to smoke stogies, but they were real thin ones, and they were dipped in. I think they were dipped in bourbon, and because you'd smoke it, and you could taste the bourbon, and it would leave your lips kind of like a little tingly from the bourbon. Yeah. It was the perfect cigar.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, it was so good.
Is that is that a home recipe, like dip it in bourbon, or you can buy them like that? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, he bought them like that. I don't know where he got them from. I've never been able to find them ever since, but the smell was so good. It had this like really sweet cherry smell. And they tasted wonderful that if there was ever a stogie I'd ever smoked, that'd be the one. I just can't find them anywhere. So, but yeah. I never smoked a fatty before.
All right, Tony, I put it up if you see it in the lobby.
I got one left here. I'm going to take it out so I can remember to take it to the beach with me this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Romeo and Julieta. Thank you for bringing that up. I try and save those for vacation. I used to smoke them on the evening live streams, so they demonetized me for smoking.
No, that sucks. One stogie. Come on. I put the picture up in the lobby. Is that it?
You can get demonetized for smoking.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
It's in the YouTube terms of service for harmful or dangerous acts.
What?
Oh.
Gee whiz.
At the least they will make it limited audience, like kids can't watch it. But in my case, they demonetized it.
Hey, Danny's asking Casey, did it smell like those old smoke pipes that people used to smoke? And the answer is yes. They did.
Yep. Do you see it, Tony, in the do you see it coming up on your side in the lobby? The picture?
In the private chat?
It should be in the lobby. I should have, because I pulled up a share screen.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Wasn't paying attention.
The picture. That's all right. Yeah, that's it right there. How awesome is that thing? I fucking love it. I'm like, any KC haters out there are gonna love this picture. Yeah, it's pretty foul.
All you got to do is put is that supposed to be KC Shaw? Just change out the hat.
Oh, he needs a Chiefs hat. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut the top off and put a KC hat on him. Give him a Chiefs hat, or maybe a Chargers hat. Now that I know you're San Diego man, mess
Don't
with you.
you know what the worst thing is I moved here to Texas, and like two of the teams that they hate the most here in Texas is the Kansas City Chiefs and one of my other favorite teams, which is you can't really call them this anymore. What are they called now? The Washington
Commanders.
Is that what they're called now? Washington
Yeah.
Commanders?
Yeah.
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 So, but they used to, when they were called the Redskins, they were my favorite team. Now I don't know who
Right.
they are anymore, so I can't say that. But so it was really difficult for me to move here to Texas because it was just kind of like everybody's a Dallas fan here, and it's like they hate the Chiefs and they hate the Redskins. So
Right. Yeah.
Someone said that is KC after Moas, the noble, wise wizard, stoned as fuck. The Wizard of Shaw.
Gotta find that thing.
Oh man.
Yeah. Now they have the Deadskins. That's right. Yeah, and they stink too. On top of it, terrible name and now a terrible team.
Yeah, that sucks.
Hey.
Diaz says, boss is smoking trees live. Yeah, I've seen him smoke. I would guess that he's getting at least limited ads. Like they're not going to show, they're going to only show that to a limited audience. I don't think he cares.
Yeah. Yeah. They had us unlimited when I first went into the live stream. It's changed now, but mine was unlimited. I don't know why. No idea why.
Pam says the yolk of eggs is red orange color. There can be blood, but it looks like a line. Store-bought yolk. So interesting fact about egg yolks, since we'll try and finish off this topic. The color of the yolk, if you guys don't know, does not indicate the nutrition of the yolk. People think that if it's orangish, that it's better. The color of the yolk comes from the food that they eat, believe it or not. So if they're eating a pasture-fed diet, sometimes they'll have a more orange colored yolk. Okay. Also, the shell color does not matter. I have white, brown, and tan, and even green eggs, depending on the breed. Yes, bluish to bluish green. It's a special breed of hen. But the eggs are always the same. Most of these companies that have organic eggs, they're feeding organic feed. They put in a marigold extract into the feed to tint the yolks orange. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I have some high quality organic feed over here, and that's one of the ingredients. It's a little trick that hen production hen folks use to it's a marketing tool. Let's be nice.
Right.
People's perception is if the yolk is orange, it's healthier, but it's just it's from their food.
Take a look at the bananas. I forget what the bananas are that we have now, but they were hybridly bred in Victorian England. And that's how we came up with the banana we have now. The banana before that was natural banana never looked good. And this hybrid banana that they made is like really pretty, right? It's yellow on the outside and it stays yellow for a long time. Apparently the old, I guess back in the 1800s, the older different types of breed, they were breeding these different seeds of bananas, and that's how we ended up with the ones we have today. And I forget I believe this is from Victorian England. So shout out to the Queen. Rest in peace.
Pam says, I had scrambled eggs today. I had scrambled eggs with chorizo, a Texas specialty. And I mean,
I never had chorizo until I moved here.
The real chorizo. Don't read the ingredients if you're squeamish.
I've never had chorizo until I'm here. This is like 10 years ago.
It's a beautiful thing. Egg, cheese, and chorizo breakfast taco. Oh man,
that's good.
Woo.
It was weird.
I had no tortilla. It was just scrambled eggs with some chorizo and a little bit of cheddar. Go ahead, Casey.
32 years old and 35 years old and never had chorizo. And finally had it.
Well, it is a Texas thing. Maybe is it a California thing too?
And the queso, no, I've never had. I mean, never had it though before. So I don't know. The queso here is different too.
Someone said, try the chorizo from Rudy's. Have you seen chorizo at Rudy's, Casey?
I have not.
I haven't seen it there.
What's Rudy's? Is that a restaurant chain?
It's a mid-grade, decent barbecue all over town. Their marketing slogan is the worst barbecue in Texas, but it's pretty good stuff. It's not
It's the
like
best barbecue you get out of a gas station.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
it's not the best that the state has to offer, or even Austin, but I mean, you could take family and friends there and never be embarrassed by it.
Okay. I'll check it out when I come visit you guys. By the way, real quick, I'll finish up this thing on chickens right now. If you get a chance, go onto YouTube, type in factory farm drone footage. You got to go see what some of this stuff that's going on. This guy has some drone footage of this factory farming and like what's going on now. And look, I'm a meat eater, right? I got no problems with animals being slain to be eaten. I think that the human civilization needs to survive. We need protein. But some of these things just look very unnatural, and I would like to definitely see it come to an end. That's for sure.
Mass
But I want to keep
production,
my hamburgers.
yeah, mass production chicken and egg farming is not a pleasant sight. Let's put it that way.
Nope.
But you got people to feed, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Just
You want
just
cheap
don't-
food or do you want expensive food? I mean, that's your choice.
right.
All right. Who Diaz Pantheon gave the best chicken DD? Pantheon still in the chat.
He hasn't
Pantheon
left.
Pantheon may as well join. I mean, he's not even here, but he's here in spirit.
He's here in spirit. Him, Bigums, we got him. Everyone's here in spirit.
John says, I keep asking. Yeah, here, let's pivot the topic back to stocks. I keep asking Chris Norland to debate you on AMC, and all I hear is crickets. I don't watch him often. I know who he is. I did watch his slide presentation, tongue-in-cheek presentation on the IQ of the investor versus the squeeze price, yada, yada, yada. Look, people are entitled to their opinions. Obviously, Chris and I don't agree. There's really nothing to debate. He does not believe that theaters are going to be profitable again. So there is no debate between parties that are that different in opinion. And he's entitled to his opinion. We clearly are on opposite spectrums. That's how investing is. You either believe in something or you don't. I happen to believe that streaming is not, while streaming is popular, it is on a decline and movies are on an uprise. And I don't think that leisure entertainment in the form of movies is going away. They had a downturn in 2020 and we're coming out of that. So he's just going to have to wait a little while to be wrong. There's nothing more to debate. Time will be the judge. I might be wrong. He might be wrong. We'll know in a year or so.
And I just want to reiterate I did look into him earlier this year when he was talking smack about AMC when we were at $9 a share. He said AMC will never go back above 20. He said the movie theater was dead right as he was going in to see Top Gun opening weekend. He couldn't move in the theater. He's like, hey, the movies are all done. The movies are all done. AMC's all done. And then, you see him going to AMC theater and the line's out the door to try to go see Top Gun. So he says a lot of weird things. I don't agree with
He's
him.
also, he loves to throw in that, all AMC investors are losing money. He neglects the fact that many of us have been in this play
For 2 years almost.
We're up 100%. If you
Right.
got in at $7 and you add AMC and Ape together, there are many people that are in this play that are doing just fine, Chris.
Yep.
Were there some people that FOMO'd and bought in at $55? Yeah. But at least on our channels, we're trying to help educate folks not to jump in at the top of plays and to not fall prey to people that might be hyping you up that don't have a lot of experience covering stocks. Like I say many times on these momentum plays that happen every day, every week in the market, if I see it too late, I feel no remorse in passing on it. The risk of jumping in late is exponentially higher. So you got to be on top of these things and recognize them earlier. Have some good content providers that call them out to you early. And I was fortunate enough with AMC that I got in early. And many of you in the chat are in the same boat. So Chris, you need to chill with the saying everybody is losing money nonsense, because you don't know.
Right. And Chris, and guys, remember, Chris could be short on AMC right now, so that he could have a invested reason for telling you that that's happening, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thoughts on WLDS, Zen Hodler? Again, just a very brief recap. IPOs are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Minimize risk by getting in pre-IPO if you can. Webull is where I buy mine pre-IPO. I'm not pushing Webull. I'm just saying that's where I'm able to get in these plays at $4. I've come out way on the top on every single one. If I forget about it or I miss the buy-in, I do not buy them in the first 15 minutes because those run-ups can turn into halts and then major drops. So play it with caution. Get in pre-IPO if you can, and even pre-IPO, eventually we're going to lose on one. That just it's a numbers game. That's fine. Do not play IPOs if you're not an experienced investor or you don't know when to pull the trigger when something is topping out. You will lose money.
You see Ed's comment, Tony? He says, I know lots and lots of people bought in at 40 thinking it was no-brainer we would mow ass, got burnt.
Yeah.
Ed, so that means they already sold then? Because it only got burnt if they sold.
Well, I mean, that's a debatable topic, right? I mean,
that's true. I guess.
On paper, they're burnt.
That's true. That's true.
If and when it comes back, they won't be burnt. I had a long heart-to-heart conversation with myself. I see these people posting over and over, not just in AMC, every freaking ticker that is down. People are like, you only lose when you sell. Well, in economics, they teach us about sunk cost versus, the opportunity cost. You're down even if you haven't sold. Let's not mince words, right?
True. I guess.
But the hope is, at least in this play, by investing in the largest movie company in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
Speculation is.
We're investing in a company that we think is going to come back. So the shorts, on the other hand, think that it's never coming back. If the shorts are wrong, the price is going to go much higher than it is right now. And so I think that these people that bought in at 40 have a good shot at getting out with the profit. No one knows. We'll find out when we find out.
That's right. I don't think we've seen our total run yet. Not even close. We didn't sell in June when we were up thousands of percentage points. So, and Thomas B said we had to wait for 84.32 anyways. He's been saying that for 6 months. So I'm not selling until at least that, Thomas. Don't worry. One share will go at 84.32.
Dark Latin says, don't forget to go see Pearl this weekend. Again, if you have not seen X, go rent X or check on your, wherever you can watch it. We rented it last week. X is the first movie. Pearl is the prequel to X.
And how was X?
Don't watch it with your kids.
Really? How was X?
It was good. Scarlett liked it. I liked it. And
No X,
she,
no X for the kids.
yeah, I mean, X could as well been the rating.
Really?
Yes.
It was very
Okay.
sexual?
I mean, well, the plot is they're filming a porno.
Oh, okay. Okay. I guess so.
What's wrong with that? What's
Nothing.
nothing. I
Nothing.
got no
I'm just
problem with
saying,
that.
if you have little kids, if you got young teens, impressionable, that you don't want seeing that type of stuff, it's not a family movie, but you and your significant other, I'm sure you guys will enjoy it.
Enjoyable?
And
Okay.
after watching that, Scarlett is looking forward to seeing
Pearl?
It kind of reminded me of like a modern day Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you said it was kind of like woodsy, like almost like one of those. Okay. But is Pearl? What I'm seeing on the previews is it looks like a younger girl. Is that who he's like in the 50s?
Pearl was the elderly lady in the movie X. So
Got it.
this goes back to when she was young.
Her younger days. Okay. All right. It looks like it's like in the 50s, maybe, or late 40s, early 50s. The time frame for that this new movie's coming, Pearl.
That sounds about right, because I think X was set in the late 70s.
Okay.
Good soundtrack too, by the way. If you like
Yeah,
70s
good
music.
tunes. Yeah.
I analyze a lot of silly things that maybe people don't in movies, cinematography, the choice of actors,
Score.
the script. Yeah, many things. That just the setting. Like, I love just stupid movies that, because of where they're set. Just crazy things that I get excited about. The soundtrack in X is pretty good.
Hey
I
Tony?
don't remember if I asked you, Tony, if you ever saw Dune in the theater. Did you see? I'm just seeing Dune.
No, I missed it. God, man.
Yeah, that cinematography was unbelievable, and the score and everything. Just the first 5 minutes of it, I was like, "Wow! Like, this is just out of this world. I can't wait for that." And they're doing what, 3 of them, so I'm so excited.
Yeah.
For Dune,
What's
it was
up,
really
Casey?
good.
I think you might have some information on comparisons between Highcroft and another mining company and some of the drilling. I think you may have been sent that information
On Discord or DM or what?
I'm not sure where he sent it to you from. Probably maybe Discord.
Okay, good. I do want to look into that. And I actually saw someone helped me out a lot. A random person that I'd never seen on Twitter that broke down like all the category headings in that survey chart that Diane Garrett posted. That was helpful. So thank you to the young lady on Twitter.
Pantheon said he sent you something. So
okay, yeah, and I talked to Pantheon last night to see if he had a chance to dig into it yet. So, yeah, we both agreed that we were going to work on that, and obviously, I did not have time yet today. So, thank you, Pantheon, and I will be looking for that when we get done here. And if I'm not live tomorrow, or if I'm awake after we finish up the live stream tonight, that is one of the things on my list of 1,000 to look into.
So what exactly was she doing? She was breaking down for you how to read the core samples? Is that what you're saying?
How to read the chart. It's got all the names of the columns across the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think even the rows, there were definitions on the left-hand side. She was breaking down what all of those mean, because if you're not used to reading those, it's kind of like, well, I think I know what this means, but she told you exactly what it meant.
Okay.
I forget her name. If anyone knows who that was on Twitter that said that, feel free to call it out in the chat. Some other people might find that helpful.
Yeah.
I love finding people that know more than I do. So I gave her a like on her post.
That's one thing I'll say from Twitter. You can find some hidden gems right in there from time to time.
Yeah. Yep. And some people asked her some follow-up questions, and she said, "Oh yeah, I'll work on that and do an update." So,
oh, cool.
Pantheon said to just say hi for him.
Hey, Pantheon.
what is going on, Pantheon? everyone in the house, in the
Yeah.
chat, in the DMs.
Yeah, I think I think the only place he actually is in the DMs. It's your Twitter. That's
He's
it.
ethereal right now.
That's right. That's right. That's right. By the way, did you see that? Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed. I knew this, but I was on BlockFi at lunch today, and they said something about the 12th or 16th because of the Ethereum merger that they weren't allowing. I forget what exactly was. I'll have to go back and see. 'Cause they never sent me. It was weird. Never sent me an email about it. I just wanted to do something, and they were like, "Oh, because of the Ethereum merger from the 12th to 16th, you can't add or I forget what exactly it was that they were allowing us to do, but the Ethereum merger is supposed to be this week, right? Wasn't it supposed to be?
I keep on hearing them say it's coming. I have a pretty big stake in Ethereum, but god damn, like I've been so focused on stocks
I know.
and crypto hasn't been doing much. All my crypto is just parked for the next run up. So I have not
Yeah.
been adding any Ethereum lately. Like I what's the point? I should be still adding weekly.
I know.
I need to check. Oh, I know why. Because I had a weekly deposit that I was doing onto Coinbase, buying Ethereum every week, but I moved all my money out of Coinbase. So
Right. Yep.
since then, a couple months ago, I have not been buying Ethereum. It's all just sitting in another account.
Yep. I did the same thing. I just did that last week. Finally closed down Coinbase. Yeah. Just BlockFi now. But you know what? I really don't like the idea of the lending and all that on BlockFi. I want to get onto a cold wallet, right?
Whew.
Uh-oh. Did Mass freeze?
Yeah, he's been having internet issues. He'll come back.
I thought I was the only one.
No, he'll be back.
At least he got a good pose. Could have been
Yeah,
worse.
at least it wasn't something embarrassing.
Yeah.
Dark Latin says, hoping to meet Adam Aaron at Metreon AMC in San Francisco. I know Tony and KC met him. We did. That was actually the first night I met KC also. What should he ask, KC?
I mean, I kind of want to make it selfish and see if he still has his broken mug, but I think
ask him if he's going to come on KC Shaw or Tony Denaro's channel or both. Ask him if he's willing to do another interview with some gray-haired investors.
Let's see. To ask him when Hot Koch is going to come over and talk with Casey Shaw. I'm still trying to get an interview with Hot Koch. Do you know who Hot Koch is?
No, who's that?
He's one of our board members. He's a director.
Okay.
He's directed some movies you probably heard of in the past, but Hot Koch is an older gentleman. He's very well known in the movie industry, and he's a very interesting guy, very well read individual, and I also think that he's pitched some ideas for movies to AMC as well. So he's got some movie ideas, and I know a lot of people want to or have talked about the idea of AMC getting into their own movie series, similar to like Netflix has done. So the idea that somebody like Hawk Koch could do some kind of, I always got to say his name like that, that he could do some kind of movie on like the apes or something like that afterwards and put it in the movie theaters. It might sell. I don't know.
Yeah, didn't they have a stake in The Big Short, the movie? Adam Aaron talked about that in an interview with Melissa Lee that he did for who did she work for again? CNBC? Melissa Lee? Do you remember?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that interview, he talked about that. She talked about that, and yeah, I believe they were one of the major players with the Big Short movie. He talked about that winning they won an Academy Award. And he said he's something like that they like to think about and get into in the future. So yeah, a production, a studio something like that for AMC, that'd be big. That'd be huge.
It
And
would
that
be
could also
very
help their
huge.
streaming service, right? If they were able to produce TV shows or anything like that. Remember, there's a lot of money out there right now. But yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see that for sure.
Someone again asking about IPOs for Friday. I am in LICN and KNW. Box of chocolates. No promises. God damn it. What am I going to do, guys? I'm going to be driving to Galveston while these things
I
are
know.
going live. Scarlett's going to
know.
have to drive. That's it.
I was gonna say, Scott's gonna have to drive. You need your phone. Yeah.
Well, that's not going to be very safe. She's working till like 6 a.m. on Friday.
Oof. Not good.
Oh, I guess I'm just gonna have to put a limit order in for like 625 on both of these. Let's see, Lycan is offered at $4. I'll probably just put in a limit order at 625, and K&W offer price is 235. I don't know. Put in a limit for $4 and cross my fingers. I mean, this is going to be tough because I've got a 3-hour drive. Maybe,
That's how far it is to Galveston?
Yeah, maybe she'll sleep and I can get my trades in before she wakes up, and we'll do an afternoon drive. Let's hope for that. If I'm around, if we're not driving early Friday morning, I'll come on live Friday for these IPOs. How about that?
There you go. There you go. Make that money.
Casey, I took her to she's working the night shift. You and I had the discussions about that because you used to do that, right?
Oh yeah.
I took her to brunch this past weekend at the Domain on a Sunday, and it was like 11 or 12 in the morning, 11 a.m. noon, and we were at Culinary Dropout. We had a cheese plate and some appetizers and a couple drinks, and we were going to order a real plate depending on how full we got off the appetizers. We didn't end up getting a full plate because she was like falling asleep while we were while we were eating. I was like, "What are you doing?" Are you drunk already off of one drink? She's like, "No." I was like, "Well, then you're falling asleep. Like you know how it is, right? I mean, it's tough to be up at noon. That's like going to bed at 9 p.m. and then someone waking you up at 12:30 in the morning and saying, "Let's go out and have some dinner."
Mm-hmm.
Your body ain't having it.
Not at all. It's not easy. But if she experiments a little bit over time, she'll figure it out and get her schedule down. She'll figure out what works for her and what doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, she's figuring it out. The problem is she wants me to stay up with her, on her days off.
Oh,
it's like 1 or 2 in the morning and I'm trying to go to sleep. She's like, "You don't want to watch a movie?" I'm like, "It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to get up in 4 hours. No, I don't want to watch a movie."
I know. You don't want to do some electrical work? I told you my electrician showed up at 1:40 in the morning yesterday. I told you that, right?
How is that possible? Like, what was his excuse?
He got off work. He's a forklift driver at BJ's. Shout out to oh my God, Mark Jean, if you're watching tonight. Yeah, he got off his day job, which he works at BJ's distribution center as a forklift driver, and came here straight from BJ's. Yeah. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Like the restaurant chain BJ's?
No, BJ's, they're like a wholesale club, like Costco or Sam's Club. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of this place before.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you guys don't have BJ's in Texas? No BJ's? Costco, none of that?
We have Costco
those.
And Sam's.
Sam's
we have
Club,
Costco
okay.
and Sam's,
No
but there's only 2 BJ's in Texas, and one of them's a restaurant.
one of them was in the movie X.
One of them is not. The other one is not a wholesale club. Pam says, "Don't hate me because I'm mod for Teddy Zane." We don't hate you, Pam. No one hates Teddy Zane.
Thanks,
Every investor is entitled to their own decisions. What we don't like is people that are causing drama, and Teddy doesn't do that. So,
Yeah, we've never really talked about Teddy saying hated on him.
no, I mean, look, he has his own thesis about AMC, and he's entitled to that. I don't agree with him. He knows I don't agree with him, but we still get along fine because he's not a drama starter. How much longer do you guys think they can keep kicking the can? KC, this sounds like it's in your wheelhouse.
2 weeks.
That's it. That's it. That's all they got left. God. Please be right, Casey.
I need to. Can I borrow that answer? I mean, I already spilled
Absolutely.
drinky drink.
Everybody can borrow that answer. It's a great answer. So let me explain it though, because there may be a lot of people that don't understand what's going on,
especially the ones that saw my Twitter post with the fortune cookie.
Oh man, you got some crap over that.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then I posted mine with the UFO crazy hair guy, right? And it said something about like 2 p.m. tomorrow or something like that. I was like, if you don't know what this is a joke about, then just don't even comment. But
right.
But the thing is that and I don't remember exactly when it was that it occurred, but people kept coming in all the time asking in the live stream when moon. It was a very common thing, and I know it's kind of just funny to say when moon, but I got tired of it. I was like, growing up when I was a kid, I had this youth pastor, and whenever we'd go on like youth pastor trips into like theme parks or whatever, and we'd all pile up in this van and he'd drive us places to go to these water parks or whatever. And inevitably somebody at some point would ask him like how much longer till we get there. And he would always hold up his hand and I got to put my hand in. Well, he'd always hold up his hand and say 5, he wouldn't even say it. He would just hold up his hand and everybody go 5 minutes. And he's like, yeah, you just shake his head. It was always 5 minutes every single time, always 5 minutes.
It didn't matter how long it was going to be.
It didn't matter. We could have just left the parking lot and he'd be like 5 minutes. It didn't matter. So, so what it reminded me of though, is if you ever saw the movie, there was a movie called Money Pit and Tom Hanks was in it. And it was Tom Hanks. And I can't remember the lady's name. I think she was from Cheers.
Yes.
You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. So they buy this mansion and it's like this, it's a money pit. It's a money pit mansion and they're going to try and fix it all up. It's the funniest freaking movie you've ever seen. You have no idea how funny it is, especially if you listen. Yeah, that's it. And so they're doing remodeling on this mansion to try and resell the mansion. And they get these construction crews that come in. And every time they ask the construction crew, they say like, "Hey, how long is it going to be till this is done?" And they always say 2 weeks. It'll take 2 weeks.
Yes.
And Tom Hanks go 2 weeks, really 2 weeks, and they'd be like, "Hey, you sound like a parakeet. 2 weeks, 2 weeks."
That's right.
So it just kind of became this thing where whenever somebody asked, it was just kind of like, how long, when moon, and it's 2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks. Doesn't matter. It's not about time.
Good to know. Because I kept seeing that in your chat in the morning. I wake up and be like, okay, so 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening in 2 weeks. But it's like every morning I see it. Like, what in the hell is going on in 2 weeks? Money Pit, good movie, huh?
Oh, it's great. You have to go
when
see
he falls to the floor on the rug. That's the best, dude.
And he's throwing the paper airplanes out of dollar bills. This little T-Rex in over there. He's like throwing them. It was a freaking hilarious movie. But yeah, what was I going to say? Shoot. Oh yeah. In the end of that movie, which is obviously some time goes by, right? What do they walk away with? This mansion that's absolutely beautiful. Like it's just immaculate. It's beautiful. It's awesome. They sell it. They make tons of money off the place. They went through tons of heartache to get there, but in the end, it paid off. And that's kind of one of the things that I really like to kind of, like AMC may seem like it's a money pit, but if you put in the hard work and the time that it takes to get it to the end, you get the rewards. So that's what I love about the 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. We're all in the same boat. Patiently waiting.
That was a great movie, though. I loved it, especially when the turkey goes shooting out of the.
Oh my god!
The turkey goes. Oh my god! the whole kitchen's like igniting in fire, and the turkey goes shooting.
I need to
I
watch
have to
that
write
movie
that.
again. It's been a while.
Oh, it's funny,
Yeah.
man.
That was a good one.
Hey,
Shelley Long and Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Speaking of old movies, Casey, at the Tech Ridge Theater, have you ever noticed the name of the bar?
Yes, and I don't remember it off the top of my head right now. It's
It's McGuffin's.
yeah, yes, that's right. But it's the
Did-
same thing everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know
Every
what
AMC is MacGuffin.
Do you know what the
Yeah.
significance of McGuffin's is?
I do not.
All right. I didn't either, but I saw the name of the bar and I was like, I wonder where they came up with that name. And then I was watching the movie X last week,
Uh,
and it's a film crew doing a porno, and he's like, I don't want it just to be a MacGuffin. I was like, what? This must be a film reference that somehow I never learned.
Yeah, the MacGuffin, like from Star Wars. Is that
From
what they're talking about?
It's from Hitchcock. Goes all the way
Okay.
back to
Oh.
Hitchcock. Yeah, so look that up if you're film curious, if you're a cinematography geek. Some of y'all might already know that. I did not know that. So
Yeah, the episode 9 of Star Wars, they had a MacGuffin, which was they had to find this dagger, and then the dagger led them to this thing, and it was like constantly, and everyone kept describing it as a MacGuffin.
yeah, it's something. It's a something to do with the plot. I forget.
Yes, exactly.
I
The
looked up.
plot rolling along. Yep.
I looked up the definition, but I didn't memorize it. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't learn it in film school either, Tony. Never heard of it till YouTube. Honestly.
Yeah.
MacGuffin, yeah.
It's funny. I saw it in the theater a couple weeks ago, and then I remembered it when I was watching X. I was like, now I really got to look up what this is.
Got it.
A device in a film or a book which serves merely as a trigger for the plot. Yes, that is exactly what Google
The
says. Thank
dagger
you,
in
Dan.
Star Wars. Yep.
Now I need to look up which Hitchcock film or where this very first came up.
Yeah, I wonder from what movie, right?
Yes, probably a movie with a guy named MacGuffin.
there's only one thing that comes to my mind when I hear that, and it's McGruff, the crime-fighting dog.
Oh, crime fighting dog? I thought you were going to say McMuffin.
McMuffins. That's even better.
I'm going to take a stab at Christian Bustillo, 22. Been in this play for 2 years now, trying not to give up, but the system is so jacked up. Who knows what's going to play out? No one knows what's going to play out. That is a fair statement. But what I try and focus on when I'm sharing my thoughts, the reason why I am in this play is that, yes, I got in it for a squeeze play a year ago, and I had stock and options, and I sold the options. So I'm okay. I still have the stock, but I made money already on the play. So I might be in a different position than some people. And I get it that some people held because the couple people covering it back then thought it was going to 100, 200, 400, whatever, But at the end of the day, even if it is a squeeze play or not, which I still think there's plenty of potential for it to be a squeeze play. The number one thing that I'm focusing on right now is whether or not you got into it for fundamentals. You've been in it long enough now that the fundamentals are improving, right? Box office revenues are improving. The company is within a few quarters, I think, of getting profitable. There are many different things like Highcroft mining, which if they really find or start mining it, could also boost the earnings per share into a profitable stratosphere. So if you have patience, and almost all of my plays are 5-year plays. So for me, it's not a big deal. I empathize with folks who need the money tomorrow. I get it. But however long it takes, the fundamentals are improving. The outlook for movies is improving. And even though I still hold out the hope for some random catalyst to create a short squeeze or the next run up, the number one way, like I said in Casey's chat this morning when I dropped in there, the number one way to get shorts out of a play is for the company to fix the fundamentals. They're in shorting this thing because they don't believe in the fundamentals. So be patient, let Adam Aaron fix the company. And if something happens along the way, that is a bonus. Clearly, if you didn't sell last June, no one can say when the next run up is. But eventually, if they right the ship and pay off the debt and the movie industry continues to improve, you're going to be fine. I think I'm going to be fine in this play.
Yeah.
You guys can jump in with your other thoughts.
Well, and also keep in mind that look at the market overall since since the beginning of the year, and it could be a lot. We could be in a worse position than we are right now. I think we're sitting in a pretty decent position right now, considering everything that's gone on in the last 9 months.
10
in
months
the
of bear
market and the
market.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's very few stocks that are up in the last 10 months. So this is also
Look at your portfolio.
unfortunate timing.
Yeah, look at your portfolio.
You
Tell me how many stocks are green.
Yeah, every time I hear people say the market's corrupt, why is AMC going down? I'm like, pull your head out of your ass and look at the freaking market. I mean, we're in a recession. We're in a bear market. No one company is going to independently just come out of that smelling like roses out of the blue. Right. So you guys gotta, it's an unfortunate situation, but everybody's in it in many stocks. So hang in there.
I'm kind of curious, Tony and Mass, both you guys on this. This is kind of something that kind of drives me a little bit nuts. I feel like there's some companies that you can compare pre-COVID to post-COVID, but one of the things that I think is really kind of upsetting to me is that everybody compares post-COVID numbers, or sorry, post-COVID numbers to pre-COVID numbers. And I really feel like there needs to be a reset and say, okay, look, everything changed for a lot of companies, not all companies, but for a lot of companies, things changed after COVID happened. You need to reset and not really compare to previous to COVID, because we're in an entirely different market right now, entirely different. Now, you want to talk about things like, cell phone companies or, I don't know, Amazon, some of these other companies, they might still be doing really well, even during COVID and whatnot. They did just fine. Those are ones
some of
that
them
I'm not.
did amazingly
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't the ones that I'm talking about, but I am talking about there's a large group of companies out there who I just don't think that it's fair to be even coming close to comparing. What do you guys think? What do you think?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Do you think that they should have some kind of adjustment that they should be able to make, or like an
what
earnings
data points
adjustment?
do you look at? That's the question, right?
It's
What
a
data points
ramp.
do you take?
It's a ramp back up. It's kind of like a manufacturing ramp of a new product. I mean, you can't go from 2019 back to the same numbers overnight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got to compare it, because what else are they going to compare it to? I mean, they got to have something to talk about. But no one, I don't think a reasonable person is expecting that in 2021 it's automatically going to be exactly where it was at the height of 2018 or 2019. But we're getting back in that direction, and it's not AMC's fault even, really, right? Hollywood shut down the movie production. So 2023, we're going to see a major increase in the good number of good movies coming out. Another reason why I'm bullish on 2023, unless they come out with C20, or I guess that would be C23.
Don't even play.
Is that Milios NZ says buy the dip on everything you can. I keep on saying that too. I think whatever you're able to buy on the dips right now, any legitimate company, you're going to thank yourself a couple of years from now. You've heard people say, or maybe you've heard me say, when you should buy, you're not going to want to. When things are feeling the worst, that is when a smart investor is buying. when the bear market and the recession are at the worst and every news channel is saying it's awful, it's never going to get better, fucking double down on that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's about to bounce.
Yep. Yeah, I wish I had more money on the side to be investing more into some of these companies. I wish I did right now. Be nice to have some to on cash.
Nicholas says Bigham's just killed my faith in the market. I love Bigham's. We're friends. We talk often, and I respect everybody's opinion. And the market is definitely corrupt, and they're always looking for an edge, and they view retail as a source of liquidity. So you guys need to wise up and figure out how to play with them instead of against them, I think. Oh man, that sounds horrible, right? Well, we're fighting we're fighting the evil market. We're fighting the evil market, Tony. We're fighting for change. Yes, okay. If you have the rest of your life, you can keep on doing that and you might have an impact. But right now in 2021, 2022, 2023, we're not going to make meaningful change overnight. The SEC can't even investigate and find companies that were doing stuff 7 years ago. I mean, the speed at which things get fixed, you have to accept the reality that you are in and figure out how to work within that if you want to make money. That's a very raw, pessimistic view. I get it. But for those that embrace that view, we are making money. And I still invest. I invest other money in contrarian plays, short squeezes, momentum, retail, those type of trades. But it can be infuriating if that is your only play. I get it. Just as one of our friends up in New York, I heard him say the other day, learn to embrace the suck.
You said that?
Yeah, our buddy up in New York said that, but it is an old military phrase that back from the Vietnam or maybe even the Korea days. Welcome to the suck. You're in a sucky market full of people that make the rules. They got the gold. They make the rules. We are the low man on the totem pole. We're not lining their pockets with trips out to the Hamptons and parties out on the yacht. So at some point, you got to learn to play with the system also. Just my opinion. Doesn't mean I don't want market change. I definitely do. And I will continue to fight for it. But in the meantime, if you can play both sides, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hanzo Jana said that I still believe in black swans, and yep, keep that in the back of your mind as well. So does some other people who know a lot more than we do, such as
they happen, but they don't happen on an annual basis.
Nope. Pay attention to who look around to who is talking about black swans and who's preparing for black swans and what do they do.
So you know what's kind of concerning to me a little bit is like I've been a huge fan of Charles Payne lately, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the last like 3 days, his
demeanor,
some of the things he's saying is starting to become more bullish on the market, which is kind of concerning to me because I don't see the same thing that he's seeing, and I'm not sure if it's because he's just bringing people on to show what other people are saying and just to get like a different point of view. But he's in the past he's been very bearish on the market. Now all of a sudden he's starting to act a little bullish, and it worries me a little bit because I don't know. I feel like he's kind of changing.
trusted by retail, right? Is that why it bothers you? Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
I would agree with you on that.
I think
he's got the most clout.
Yeah, I haven't looked at his tweets in a couple days, so I don't know.
I really like the guy.
Yeah, he's been a good advocate for retail. Yeah. JF Almeida says, should Adam Aron clarify the checkmate? I mean, all of us would like him to clarify it, right?
Right. It's just a matter of can he?
I bet half the audience hates Adam Aaron and half love him. I'm in the I trust him to do the best to fix the company, and I think that is his primary goal. And we are, we're along for the ride. I don't think he's.
You think it's 50-50?
I think the
50?
audience. I think half of the people out there hate Adam Aaron and half love him in general. But I think Adam Aaron is not. I agree with people that say Adam Aaron's primary goal is not ensuring a short squeeze. His goal is ensuring the viability of this company. But by doing that, he can route these shorts out of this, and you could get a short squeeze. So I say
And
let
that
him
might be
do it.
exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, I say let him do his work. I'm all for that. There could definitely be a win-win scenario here.
Patience.
I don't think there's any person sitting in here who wouldn't mind having held on to Tesla at $10 a share.
That's right. Yep.
And how many years did they have to wait?
Right. Exactly.
So I'm just saying. I'm not saying this is a Tesla squeeze. I'm just saying I don't think there's a dang person in here that would disagree that they wouldn't mind have been in it. That even if you said $70, even if you got in at $70, I don't think they would have minded getting in on Tesla at 70. So, yeah.
What did Biggums just say?
I don't know.
Why
I mean,
has
he
everyone saying that?
loves to rant against the corruption in the market, and rightly so, right? There is a fuck ton of corruption in the market. None of us, I think, would disagree with that. There has been, I can tell you, as the senior person on the panel, there's been corruption in the market for decades. So hey, if you're going to play the game, know the rules. This is the game that you entered. You can come in here and fight for change along the way, but it's going to be decades to get meaningful change. Or it's going to require another market crash to wait. Yeah, to get Congress off their ass and force change on the SEC. And that may be coming.
We might see the first steps of that this November. Watch out.
It is unfortunate that it takes these black swan events like 2008 or the dot-com bubble. Those are where the most meaningful regulation changes happen, is after black swan events.
And think about this, guys. A lot of these congressmen and women are retiring or leaving or being replaced. So this new generation that's going to come in right now to office, they're going to be, they're going to be up for. They're gonna be looking to hold seats for a long time. So, are they going to be corrupted by the money from Wall Street, or are they going to fight for the retail investor and the common man, and try to fix these things and say, no more insider trading, no more senators and representatives being able to trade single ticker stocks. It just depends. What is this generation of politicians thinking about, right? So.
All right, KC, let me know that he's got to take off. And let's see, we've been going for 3 hours. I think this might be a good time to, we'll let KC say goodbye, and then we'll try and wrap up here in the next 5 minutes or so. So KC, You're welcome to hang out for 5 minutes, or you're welcome to bow out and say your goodbyes.
I'm a bow out, but Mass, you sound like you're still sick, buddy, and I really hope you get
always
better,
at nighttime, man. Always at nighttime.
Is it allergies or something, or like what's the
deal? Honestly, it's probably from me sanding all this crap today, and there's just dust everywhere in here, and using a Dremel to cut out drywall, and I'm breathing that crap. I've been doing it 8 hours today, so. And at nighttime, it hits me because I'm not moving around, so my blood's not pumping. I sit down and just get congested, like all just settles or whatever.
Well, all right, good. Well, I'm glad you're not sick, so that's good.
No. And I'm done with that wall. I'm not pulling that Dremel out ever again. I'm throwing it out the window. Right. KC, thanks, man, for coming on. Thank you so much.
Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for giving up a couple of your hours to talk with the nighttime folks. I'm sure everybody enjoyed having you on. I know we did. And you're welcome back anytime, KC.
Yeah, thanks, KC. Tony. I appreciate it. And I hope your knee feels better. I know you're 90% healthier now, but I hope that 90% gets to 100 real quick here.
Is yours back to normal, by the way?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm totally good. But watch out for those dogs, man. They love tripping you. It's like they know you're old.
lesson.
My dog knows I'm old, and he's like, "Hey, I'll just lay down right here because I know he's gonna trip over me." So, thanks a lot, buddy.
Oh man.
Man's best friend, always tripping us up. All right, I take
Yeah,
care,
right.
guys. It's been fun. I really appreciate you guys having me, and it's been a pleasure talking with you guys. Can't wait to do it again.
Same
Later,
here.
brother. Have
Take
a good
care.
night.
Take care, guys.
That was nice to have a third person on. I mean,
Yeah.
I love doing the duo thing, but it's always nice to have someone else to throw an idea out there or something I'm not thinking of, or like the Charles Payne thing. Like that's why I love doing these things because it really keeps me focused. It really does. Like now I'm gonna go back and look into that. Now I'm gonna go see what Bigham said. Like I gotta find out what's going on. It's keeping me up to date. I'm glad KC came on.
Yeah, and I appreciate that from the viewers, the audience that's been watching tonight, all the questions that you guys ask and the things that you bring up to us, because I'm only one set of eyeballs. Massalorian's only one set. And there are literally thousands of tickers to keep an eye on, hundreds of world events, U.S. economic events, regulations, so many things going on, and then all the content creators and Twitter and everything else on top of that. You guys help us out more than you know, keeping a pulse on what is going on, and we try and reflect that back and provide value to you. So hopefully it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys, especially the mods, doing all your work tonight. And thank you for Prometheus becoming a mod tonight for me. Thanks, Prometheus. Appreciate that. I do both, Diaz. Sorry. He asked if I smoked or vaped. I'm both. I'm double trouble. But yeah, you guys are very important. And, I again, sorry for my absence the last week or so, but it's been a little tough getting this done. But, I'll be out there to put out some more information and I'll be staying on top of everything. So you don't got to worry about that. And, Tony's there every day. So you never have to worry about Tony. So I appreciate
not
Tony.
every day lately in the bear market, but any day I think I can provide value. If I'm not live, I'm still working in the background. So
yeah,
I go. My days are free. I go live as much as I can. But if it's 8 hours of red market, sometimes my time is more valuable doing due diligence or working with the members of the channel. So
yeah,
I'm always here for you guys either way. Fear not.
truth.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks to the supporters of this channel, those of you with the badges and the green names. Thanks to the mods and the admins also. Thanks to KC. Thanks to Massalorian. And we'll try and have some more guests on in coming episodes. We love doing that. There's been, as you guys know, a lot of drama in the community because people get frustrated because it's a bear market and a recession and things aren't going the way we want. We're all struggling with that. But I'd just like to say, as I always try and do when we wrap these things up, green days are ahead, whether it's a month or a year from now. These things always have a way of working themselves out. So be patient if this is your first time in a recession or a down market. They don't last forever. Whatever you're buying cheap now, I think you will be rewarded for when things turn around. And that turnaround often comes really quick. So in the meantime, be good to each other. Be good to the content creators. They're putting in a lot of work for you guys, all of them. And we appreciate everybody's efforts in supporting this community and supporting each other.
Yeah, guys. Thank you.
Have a good night, guys. We will see you on the next video. And just a reminder, I don't know if I'll be live Friday. I won't be around Saturday or Sunday for sure. Depends on when Scarlett wakes up, but we're going on vacation for her birthday Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'll be around tomorrow and we'll see how Friday morning goes. Take care. Peace out. Love you.
Love you guys. Have a good night.